Hello, everyone. Ryu here. All right, so let's go ahead and get this party started. So, here. All right, so oh Jesus, let's go ahead and get. Sorry, I had to back out and make a change to something, so when I went back in, I forgot to remute it. So, a lot of shit's gone down, and I want to go ahead and I want to talk about the shit. Now, first and foremost, I'll just go ahead and I'll talk about the kind of hot topic and go for the low-hanging fruit to start out with. And that is with the whole Anita Sarkeesian calling Sargon calling him human garbage. Let's go ahead and actually take a look at that. Now, you've got people that have shown her, talking at the UN, and the famous quote of harassment isn't just what is and isn't legal. It's the day-to-day grind of you suck, you're a liar, that's shit, And the thing is, I mean, there's really not much more to say on that because at that point, by her own standards, she was committing something that she said people should be arrested for. And you see, this is the reason why I absolutely hate hypocrisy. And it's the reason why it pisses me the fuck off. It actually enrages me. Because the thing is she's now basically just shown that she is actually saying that she wants to be able to treat anyone as poorly as she wants, lie about anyone and anything, not get criticism, and actually have it be illegal to criticize people like her, even though she's doing the stuff that she is specifically, quote unquote, speaking out against. So that's a bit of an issue in and of itself. And don't get me wrong, I can understand, some people saying, well, you know what, it's not that big of a deal and all that. But also at the same time, it actually is kind of a big deal. Because the thing is she's actually shown her true colors here. She's shown that she doesn't want equal treatment or anything even remotely close to it. She wants superiority. She wants to be able to say whatever she wants to anyone, but she doesn't want anyone to be able to say anything against her. That's kind of a big deal. That's not exactly leading down a good path. I'm not surprised by it. I mean, the thing is if you look at the directions that feminism has actually gone. Hey, how's it going, Dilgaff? Let's see. What is Dilgaff saying? It's called societal narcissism. It is what it is. With the narcissist, you're not allowed to fight back, but they can do what they want. Yeah, no, seriously, I fully understand. Dilgaff, you want to go ahead and join in on this? Because you've got more of the psychological aspect of it. Me, I've got more of the fuck this shit attitude toward it. And I think you popping in might be able to explain it a little bit more so than what I can. All right, I'm sending you the invite. See, everyone, Dilgaff's one of my favorite people to invite because of the pure and simple fact that I can just type in his name into the invitation slot and hit invite. I don't have to sit there and go through 9,000 different steps like I do with some other people. Some people, for some odd reason, I have to do it through the email. And that is a pain in the fucking ass. Whatever. But, yeah, so everyone knows, like anyone who's been watching my channel for any amount of time whatsoever knows that I have never been a fan of Anita Sarkeesian. In fact, I was one of the first people banned from her channel for bringing up the issues with her arguments. in her first sets of videos. And I wear that as a fucking badge of honor. All right, I'm resending. But yeah. All right, guys. All right, sent. But yeah, I wear that as a badge of honor. I mean, I'm blocked on Twitter by Feminist Frequency. I recently got blocked. It took them long enough to block me.
Yo, dude, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, man?
How's things? You good?
Been a while since we talked.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Been busy.
Yeah. You and having a life and shit.
I wouldn't say that.
Pretty big. No, but yeah, no. So, what's your take on the whole Anita pulling that bullshit thing?
I mean, that's like I said in the comment, man. This is societal narcissism, and we're seeing it all over the fucking place, man. And
Yeah.
the thing is, I mean, I don't know if you've checked out many of my videos, but I did one where I think it's called Feminism versus Narcissism, because they seem to go hand in hand from my personal observations.
I was just about to say what well, that's kind of an oxymoron, you know. It's all like how can feminism be versus itself? Although they have answered that question, we see a lot of feminists going after each other right now.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with that is because what I was trying to do is a comparison, because I didn't really want to believe that there was a direct link, but at the end of the day, you see the figures and the facts and the behaviors for what they are, and it is what it is, man. It's the typical. You got to remember with, I mean, when we're talking narcissism, man, it's like everything is on a different. It's a spectrum. You're gonna get people that, you know, we've all got like slight narcissistic tendencies. It's a survival thing.
Yeah.
But then you get people like Big Red, Anita Sarkeesian, and all them fucking way out there that think they're overprivileged to go and attack someone for no particular reason. You know, like, I mean, obviously we're talking about Anita and Sargon in this case.
Yeah.
And it just demonstrated to me that it's just this whole female privilege thing. In whereas he might have just wanted to ask some genuine questions. The truth is, we're never going to know now, unless obviously I don't know if he's done any videos explaining what was what. But she shut him down and she insulted him and berated him in front of fucking everyone. And that is exactly what fucking narcissists do. And then you're not allowed to fight back.
Yeah, and in a way where he couldn't fucking say anything back.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
you know, where in a situation where she, quote unquote, was in the position of power. Exactly. And it's all like, really? You're saying that, you know, racism, sexism, and bigotry can only come from a place of position and power. Yeah. That's what they fucking say. And so here she is in a quote unquote position of power, going after someone not in that same position of power, and then she sits there and says, oh, well, it still doesn't even equate. It's all like bull fucking shit, you fucking cunt.
Exactly that, but this is it.
Shut your fucking signaling mouth.
But they will never connect the dots. And you see, the sad part in this is she's that grandiose about herself. These are all the narcissistic traits which, you know, I've spoken of previously in like older videos on my channel. These are the exact traits where it's perfectly fine for her to do that. But if the shoe had been on the other foot, I mean, Sargon wouldn't. I can't see Sargon doing that anyway. I honestly can't.
If Sargon did do something like that, I guarantee you people would have stormed the stage.
Fuck yeah. Of course they would. And, you know,
there would have been fucking violence instantly at that point.
When Sargon uploaded that, I thought to myself, do you know what I'd have done given that circumstance? I'd have walked my ass up to that stage and just fucking given her a piece of my mind, and then asked her the fucking question. You know, whatever it was that he was going to ask. Because, you know what I mean? It's one of them. It's like she's shut him down with no real basis just because he's a YouTuber. She's devalued. Well, she hasn't devalued, but she she put down any video that he ever did. And what has she got to fucking show for herself other than a fucking virtual signaling, you know, entitled?
Other than a series that she said would be done in less than a year, that took her several years to fucking go ahead and make, after getting infinitely more funding than she said that she needed, and zero fucking increase in fucking quality. Like, if I was to sit there and I was to start up a fucking Patreon, and I was to sit there and get like even, you know, $200 or $300 a month, all of that money would be sank into my fucking channel, and I would sit there, I'd buy the software and I'd buy the hardware and everything to improve the quality of my fucking work. Exactly. But her, no, she's sinking it into a way overpriced pad, living in an area that is absolutely outside of her price range, except for her fucking victim currency. Yeah. If it wasn't for that victim currency, she would be penniless out on the street. She's a talentless hack.
Yeah, exactly that. But
to be perfectly honest, I mean, at least he has some fucking flair to him. She doesn't have flair. Her videos, if they weren't so enraging, would be a snore fest.
Yeah, that is. But it's exactly.
And that's sad because that's coming from me. I mean, look at my fucking videos. People have made comments on it. It's me tooling around in my front yard.
Yeah, but the thing is, look at the difference. I mean, between not just like your channel, my channel, and even Sargon's channel. She's got one advantage over quite a lot of other male channels, and that
pussy pass.
That is feminism. Pussy hats. Exactly that. That's pussy hats. Until she hits the wall. And then feminism has no use for her. And then she'll find out what it's like to be old, poor, and powerless, to quote Terrence Pott.
In my opinion, she hit the wall before she even started making videos. But that's beside the point. Like honestly, like I like with her, I've like people always give me a hard time because I find Lacey Green attractive as shit, and I've always found her attractive as shit. But the thing is it's all like, well, yeah, I mean, she has something that rings my bell. With Anita Sarkeesian, there is nothing fucking attractive about her. Like, honestly, if I was to be attracted to Anita Sarkeesian, at that point, I'd also have to be attracted to the Wicked Witch of the West from the original fucking Wizard of Oz. I mean, seriously. I mean, honestly, just make her green and tell me she is not the Wicked Witch of the West.
She's a fucking Grinch.
I mean, honestly, tell me. No, the Grinch is more attractive than that bitch. At least the Grinch can keep you warm at night. But no.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And at the same time, it did when I saw that when Sargon uploaded his video about what had happened, and obviously it was recorded and that. And the first thing I thought is like, this is like being back in the fucking school playground again. It is. I don't know how it works out in the States, but over in the UK,
it's all the same. Kids are assholes no matter what culture you come from.
We have like.
Hey, how's it going, Sin? You want an invite? Sorry.
Yeah. We'll lower the tone. Yeah, do it. But yeah, and that's. You get like the prefects, which are supposedly people that you got to look up to because they have a little bit of power. They're generally sort of like teachers' pets and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
although they're not necessarily untouchable, they're very hard to get to, like to prove that they're doing wrong or something like that. They will always get that favoritism from the masses because they're a prefect. And that's the same kind of mentality that Anita Sarkeesian has got. And especially by doing that, like, who the fuck is she to call anyone a piece of trash, garbage human being? Like, seriously.
Well, I guess it takes one to know one, so.
Well, this is it. I mean, I think, to be fair, I think I left a comment on Sargon's video about that, about just saying that she's just fucking projecting, man. It's like,
oh, sorry to hear that, man. I hope he's feeling better. Oh, should I say I hope he feels better soon. His nephew has a fever, so Sin's watching it right now.
Oh, good. And yeah, I haven't even loaded that chat.
All right, fair enough, Sin. Let me know when you want an invite, and I'll go ahead and invite you. All right, sorry for interrupting you, man. I just needed to respond to that one.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool. But yeah, it just seems to be the mentality of like fucking playground back at school, you know.
Yeah.
And like I said, the saga and all that I can see is going on is she's just projecting her shit because she's a piece of trash human being. Her channel is of videos with all the useless fucking content on it, like with the whole fucking gaming shit that was going on. It's just like, talk about sticking your fucking nose in shit that ain't none of your business just to fuck it up for other people just because it's not a part of your life.
See, the funniest thing is part of me wants to go through as a gamer and on my channel address each and every one of her fucking arguments and just rip them the fuck apart. But that would be such a long series.
Yeah, you know.
But the thing is, I've also been a gamer since I could walk. You know, so I mean, you know, I played the Atari, I played in television, I played all that shit back in the day.
Yeah, man.
And so, yeah, and I played video games all the way through now. I still play video games. I mean, hell, yesterday I was playing Ark.
Oh, fair. I've seen Ark, but I haven't. You know what? I haven't picked up the PS4 in quite a while now, man.
Well, you see, I play on the PC. Just
fair.
Well, with games like Ark, I tend to enjoy PC better. But the thing is like with actual first-person shooters, I actually tend to prefer console. Just because I think my brain works better with the controller for first-person shooters.
Okay.
But the thing is with stuff where there's building and all that, the PC, it tends to be my thing. Same thing with real-time strategy games, although it's got to be a damn good real-time strategy for me to play it. Let's just be honest. I'm not a huge fan of real-time strategy other than the original Warcraft.
Oh, yeah, man. I remember the original Warcraft, man. That was awesome.
Dude, that game still is good to this very fucking day.
I didn't even have a release for that on PS4. I might have to see if I can do it just for a laugh.
I don't think that they had a release for that on PS4 or anything, the original Warcraft.
Yeah, I had it on PC.
Oh, yeah, they definitely had it on PC.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Like, I've played a couple real-time strategies on console, and the controls just feel clunky to me. With a controller, I'm all like, nah, you definitely need a mouse for precision shit.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, man. I mean, that was one of the things, even like with sort of old school games like Command and Conquer. I played that the first one, like Red Alert, Command and Conquer and Red Alert when they first come out on the PC, and yeah, it was awesome. And then yeah, like you say, you try and use it on the PlayStation, and it's you need a bit more accuracy and a bit more speed and a bit more, a bit more something.
Now, you see, everyone watching, this is what gamers talk about. We don't sit there and say, oh, women need to stay out of our fucking space. This is your typical gaming discussion. So unlike what Anita likes to paint us as, we actually don't mind. What it is do you have skill at the fucking game? That's like, if you don't have a lot of skill at the game, you're going to get called a noob. You're going to get called all this shit. You're going to be told to set down the controller, walk away, and find something else to do. If you're too good at the game, then people are going to call you a piece of shit. They're going to say they're going to track you down and fuck your mom, all that sort of shit. It's called smack talk. And the thing is smack talk is meant to get you upset so you fuck up. Yeah. Kind of like Sargon just sitting there and Anita Sarkeesian taking the bait.
Yeah.
That right there was expert smack talk. You know you are an expert at smack talk when just your very presence alone causes your opponent to lose their shit and suicide grenade.
Yeah, pretty much. No, exactly that, man.
But that's actually one thing that I want to talk about, and it's a lot of people are all like, "Oh, video games are unrealistic." Let's see now.
What?
Nowadays we have active martyrdom. We have political martyrdom. we have random shootings, GTA style, random stabbings, GTA style.
Yep.
We have dumbass piles of fucking shit out on the street spouting a whole bunch of bullshit and then getting all butthurt when someone finally knocks their teeth down their throat. I mean, it seems like real life is starting to mimic video games pretty much, like in every conceivable fucking way. Well, I'm just waiting, and I mean, hell, we have an off-color president right now. You know, a president that is not the normal human color of spectral color. You know, we have an orange president, not quite green, but you know, close enough.
I thought, yeah. I thought it was just they had to emphasize on the orange show the green didn't show. I thought that's what was going on.
Oh, well, the thing is he's orange and green because, I mean, he is the biggest fucking living Pepe ever.
Yeah, you know it.
Oh, my God. It's amazing to me. But the thing is like, then you sit there and you see another big trope coming into play, and that is people who actually have a lot of authority, a lot of backing, and so on and so forth, sitting there and trying to play the fucking victim. When they get called out on doing bullshit, whenever people actively move to stop them from pulling their crap.
No, exactly that. You know, and I mean,
so at this point, the real world is, and I'm going to go ahead and use some SJW terms here. Everyone ready?
Have you been?
The real world is culturally appropriating video game culture.
It's virtue.
Stop being so bigoted, real world.
It's virtue signaling. Oh, shit.
Anywho.
Yeah, but the thing is, with sort of like games like GTA, and
I had a couple people log off. They're all like, "Oh shit, he's going down this route. I don't even want to hear it."
But yeah, it's like games like GTA. I think a lot of it is because they, you know, it is so well related to real life. You know, because like in real life, you have the choice. You know, obviously the game is the game at the end of the day. That's, you know, people have to realize this. But I think
and video games are, it's like anime. Everything's blown way out of proportion. That's just kind of part of video games. That's part of media, period. You know, a lot of shit gets blown in the entertainment industry. Shit gets blown out of proportion.
But this is it. I mean, you've nailed it there, because that's exactly what it is. It's just entertainment, you know. But then people start taking shit fucking seriously. And, you know, you do get, oh, fuck it, what was that game a few years ago? Oh, fuck it. It was one of the fighting ones. And they ended up banning it because people were getting fucking ideas above their station. And you basically just went around killing people. And there was a couple of kids that ended up, like, taking each other out with plastic bags over their head and all this kind of shit. What was it called?
Oh, shit. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's one where it's kind of like it's prisoner versus prisoner, basically.
Yeah. So along them lines.
Condemned. I think that was it.
I think it is Condemned, actually.
And then they were also trying to get Mortal Kombat banned in several countries. Which, I mean, the PC users would have been pissed off unless, you know, they were like time travelers, at which point they would have gone, trust me, it was a good thing. It was a good thing to do that. I mean, dude, the PC version for Mortal Kombat was so fucking bad. Oh my God.
How do you mean bad? Because, I mean, man,
glitch fest, fucking crashing constantly. I mean, I have no problem with Mortal Kombat. I mean, I grew up with fucking Mortal Kombat, all right? Mortal Kombat fucking rocks. And I love the gratuitous violence. I love the over-the-top gore. I mean, that's its namesake, you know? I mean, of course you're going to have that. But the thing is like, the PC version of it just had so many problems at launch.
Oh, man, yeah. But then it's, you know...
I think they fixed it now, but I'm not sure.
You don't want to find out.
No, I don't. I'm all like, yeah, no, I'm good. Because I've never been much of one for, you know, a whole lot of fighting games. Like, yeah, I'll play Mortal Kombat because fuck, it's Mortal Kombat. But
Yeah.
but you know, I'm not really big into fighting games. I'm more into first person shooters, open world sandbox games, and so on and so forth. And I understand people that love fighting games. I mean, holy shit. So some of the shit that you can pull off in that is insane. Like, the only fighting game that I'm constantly into is Tekken.
Oh man, I haven't played that in ages. I mean, what are they at now with Tekken, man? They must be on like 9 or something, surely. I mean, I remember when, what was it? Was it Tekken 4 or 5? That was the last one.
Honestly, I'm just waiting for them to come out with a game titled Tekken Who Gives a Fuck. Yeah, I mean, honestly. I would love to see one of these gaming franchises that actually that has been going up in numbers incrementally, continuously. Just sit there and go with the name, and then says we lost count. Like, actually have that as the title. We lost count.
We lost count. Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, to be fair, man, I'd be happy if they re-released Soul Blade, which they had on the PlayStation. That was
Soul Blade?
Yeah, Soul Blade, man.
Never played Soul Blade. I played Soul Calibur.
Yeah, Soul Calibur was the next one up.
Yeah, I never played Soul Blade.
Yeah, I think that the main differences between the two, I mean, obviously, was Soul Calibur was a lot more advanced on still a platform game, but it was a lot more advanced in the graphics, the moves, and the characters.
And the physics.
But Soul Blade was more the original, man, and it was absolutely awesome. Some of the stuff you could do, and it was one of those frustrating ones because you get right to the end level boss, which is Soul Blade, the character, and the shit the PlayStation used to pull off. It's like, I could never do that move. It doesn't even exist.
Did M Bison you?
Sorry?
Did it M Bison you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that shit fucking sucks. I fucking hate that shit. Or what's his name from the Mortal Kombat? Shao Kahn, I think it was.
Oh yeah, it was Shao Kahn.
Yeah, that shit. You know, where it just frustrates you to the point where you crush the controller in your hand and you're like, fuck, now I have to pause the game and go out and buy a new controller just so I can try to beat this motherfucker.
Yeah, you know it. And then you come back and he still kicks the fuck out of you.
Yeah. And then you sit there and you're at the end of the fight and you accidentally do the wrong move. Oh, and you're like, no.
Yeah. Wrong ending. Wrong sequence. Fuck.
Yep.
Oh, man. Happy days. But at the same time, it's...
No, saying the guy that has the green, like, basically plasma hammer and plasma spear. That will sit there, and every time he hits you once, he'll sit there and taunt you in the middle of the fight.
Oh, man, that's fucking...
Yeah, he'll tell you suck and that sort of thing, and eventually you start agreeing with him. like you develop Stockholm syndrome in real time.
If you know what, I think I have done that on quite a few games. It's like, when they do exactly how they taunt you, it's like, yeah, fuck you, whatever. All right, I'm shit. Fuck you.
Right? It's like, yeah, I know I suck at this game. Take this. Take a difficulty lower.
Yeah, exactly that.
Oh, and you always feel so filthy when you do that to get past the boss.
Oh no, man. Fucking. But still, I mean, that's just part of the. I guess it's part of the entertainment factor, you know, because I mean, it's like.
Well, because a lot of people play video games for a challenge. Not everyone does. You know, some people will sit there and play a game strictly for the story. If you're playing a game strictly for the story, playing a fighting game probably isn't for you. But, you know, they're like, you know, RPGs and that sort of thing. Like, a lot of people, you know, give a lot of people shit for playing JRPGs. It's all like, well, sometimes those stories are actually pretty good. Sometimes, you know, certain bits of the story, you're all like, what the fuck? But, you know, most of the time they're pretty fucking good for a story, and they're actually compelling you to want to move on. And so now you've got a conflict. Like me, I'm an old school Final Fantasy player. That means when I'm playing an RPG, I grind my level up to godlike proportions in each area to where I'm literally able to one-shot everything, including the final boss for the area.
Fucking hell.
I'm one of those fuckers. I'll sit there, like, on Final Fantasy VII, I'll sit there and spend, you know, 20 hours in the first area just grinding wolves and stuff so I can actually kill the snake.
Okay. Well,
You're not supposed to kill until later.
I got to say, man, Final Fantasy is well out of my league. It's just, never really. I didn't get into it. A lot of my friends got into it, but I was the one that didn't. It's a bit like oh, what's that other one? The fucking zombie one. Oh shit!
We need to work on our pipe games. Dragon, please elaborate on this.
You know, I'm actually not getting any of the chat come up on my thing. For some reason. Let me see if right,
anything, especially you.
I might get cut off. Bear with me.
Okay.
Hopefully, I won't. Right.
Laying pipe. Still not 100% up with you on it, dude. I'm not getting it. But yeah, like, the thing is oh, okay. Yeah, dude, yeah, MGTOW channel. MGTOW channel. Something tells me Gilgas got more piping skills in the way that you're talking than I do. Because me, I was actually one of those idiots that actually didn't cheat when I was younger. I didn't play the field. So yeah. So technically, as far as experience in that way, I'm actually not. I'm actually not all that experienced. Gilligaf got DC'd. All right, but yeah, as far as the whole issue of, like, with people, you know, going after games and all that sort of thing, it's all like, it's just a hobby, guys. You know, relax. I mean, if you don't like a game, don't play a game. If you don't like something in the game, yeah, you know, sit there and say, yeah, well, I didn't like this part of the game. But don't sit there and say, oh, the entire game fucking sucks because I didn't like this one single aspect of said game. That's my view of it. You know, it's all like, and bring it back around to what I was initially talking about, or should I say the person that I was initially talking about. Like with Anita Sarkeesian, she bitches and complains about how women are represented in games. It's all like, well, if you want women to be represented in games differently, make your own games. Represent women how you want to see them represented. But then whenever, you know, some SJW or something like that goes out and does do that, the game gets critically panned. And so what happens then? Oh, well, they sit there and say, well, it's because of the patriarchy and da-da-da-da-da. You know, they blame everyone but themselves. You know, it's all like, well, maybe people just don't want to play a fucking depressing game. Maybe people don't want to play a game where characters are one-dimensional at best. Maybe people want characters that are flawed, that go through a fucking character arc, that actually develop as the game goes through. I mean, I don't see where that's a real big issue. I truly don't.
I mean, we gave them The Sims. What more do they want, for fuck?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Actually, I play The Sims. Modded, but I play it. Believe it or not. But it's just because I like some of the fucked up shit that you can do in the game. I mean, honestly, that game is so fucking demented down to its base core. especially like with the Sims 3, if you've got the expansion where it's got the paranormal shit, where you got the paranormal expansion, where if you kill someone, then a ghost pops up, and the ghost is actually a character.
Fucking hell.
Oh my god.
No, that sounds pretty fucking messed up, man.
Yeah, but the thing is the way that you kill people in that game is either, get them to go into a swimming pool and then delete the ladder to get out, or you've got the really slow and painful way of leaving them in a room and starving them to death.
Shit.
I mean, get them into a room or something, and then go ahead and delete the door. And then just leave them there until nature takes its course.
That sounds like a good course of action for some things, I think.
I think that's a good way of sating the urges of a serial killer. Just buy them The Sims.
Yeah, but again, you could argue that sometimes, it could lead to taking people to the next level, as with Condemned, whereas you actually think, oh, what happens if? And of course, they try it and ended up fucking killing someone.
Well, then you better pray that person doesn't read the Hunger Games.
Yeah, well, there is that. But then this is the other kind of like argument that I kind of put up a lot with this one. And whereas how much of it is being done to desensitize people,
Oh, that whole desensitization thing. All right, here's my argument against that. I watch porn. But my dick still gets hard when I see a regular woman naked. So
but that's
let's see now.
That's a different kind of concept, though, isn't it? Like if you're taking, I mean, I'm going to use GTA for argument's sake, and the parents that are irresponsible will let the 12-year-old kid play it and whatnot. Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about the average parent nowadays.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, exactly that. The ones that really, rather than, interacting with their kid as a parent like they fucking should do, it's just something to keep the kids out of their parents' hair, which is, it's the wrong fucking reason to have kids within the first place.
It's a digital babysitter is what exactly. they use video games for, is digital babysitting.
Exactly, but it's also the wrong way around it. But the same, when you take games like GTA 5, where you've got the constant car stealing, killing.
Sin says, I'm basically sitting at a kitchen table watching my nephew play in the living room. What's he playing? GTA.
So this is going down like a load of fucking lead balloon, yeah?
But yeah, no, like I don't get these parents that sit there, and say, oh, well, these video games, are tweaking my kid's brain. It's all like, who bought them the video game?
Yeah, exactly that.
It would be, to me, it's the same argument as if a parent was to go out and buy crack cocaine for their kid. Yeah. And then sit there and say, oh, well, drugs made my kid fucked up. Drugs led to my child's death. No, you going out and buying this stuff, knowing that it wasn't for them.
Exactly. Well, this goes back to that diminished responsibility, whereas they won't hold themselves accountable for their shit, even though they know full well, but they won't have it because they can't do anything wrong,
And what movement has that mentality?
Oh, well, there's quite a few. Take your pick. Which one?
See, a lot of people try to say that MGTOW has that mentality. It's all like, no, being MGTOW is you taking full responsibility for yourself and full responsibility for your station in life and doing what you can to better that situation. A lot of people will sit there and try to say, oh, MGTOW is just about woman hating. No, it's about understanding human nature, not just female nature, human nature.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things that a lot of the haters overlook. They don't actually see the more philosophical side to it and the more realistic side to it. And whereas yeah, a lot of them say, oh, you know, like, oh, a lot of MGTOW seem like nihilistic, and it's like it's not the case. You know, it's we've seen shit for what it is. It's a rigged game. The guy's gonna get fucked over each and every time, regardless of whether he does something wrong or not.
Right.
And so when it's like that, are you gonna roll the dice and see if you get lucky, or are
And
you gonna
but then
are you
also to
gonna
be fair, there are a lot of MGTOWs that have become very nihilistic because they know that the shit's not going to get better because it would require the simps to actually all wake up at the same time, and that's just never going to fucking happen. There's too many single mother households.
I mean, I think that the biggest problem we face as MGTOW is exactly that. It's the white knights, the simps, and the cucks, and calling them for what they are. Because whereas in some aspects, even I kind of agree with them that, you know, for it to be fair, it's got to be across the board. But the fact is, it's not fair and across the board. The guys are always having to take responsibility and be held accountable for shit, whereas the women get away with it just because they fucking got a pussy pass. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And as long as you've got all these other guys, the simps, the white knights, whatever, manginas, cucks, and that.
The orbiters.
Exactly. You know, the friend zoned ones that are, you know, desperately trying to get into the knickers of girls that it ain't never going to happen with.
The guys that sit there and think that they need a woman's approval for validation.
Yeah, exactly that. You know, and they I don't know what's wrong with them though. They just won't see past it. And I don't know, maybe they need to get burnt enough times and maybe then they'll learn, or maybe they'll never learn. I don't know. But
I'm honestly surprised Chaz hasn't shown up yet.
yeah, innit?
Speaking of orbiters. Chaz, when you eventually see this, love you, bro, but I just had to rip you.
Had to be done. But yeah, and so
I have to maintain my status as GOAT.
Yeah, you know, but and again, you get the same old bullshit with them because you know that they're first on the attack because they think it's the right thing to do, but then they're not realizing that in MGTOW walking away from the plantation and doing our own thing and just living our life as we please. We just want to live in peace. That's what a lot of people don't get. We like to have. We're still human beings. We like to have a laugh and a joke, the same as everyone else.
Yeah.
But a lot of us just aren't getting involved in relationships and all that shit. So if anything, all these white knights and that, they should be happy because we've just increased their chances of getting into the knickers of the girls that we're walking away from. But
well, the thing is also at the same time, it actually does hurt the simps. Us doing that does hurt the simps because, like I've covered in a previous video, then the slave masters on the plantation start taking it out on the other slaves for not stopping slaves from leaving the plantation.
Yeah, but again, but then look at the position that they'd be in if they did do that. They'd still be back at fucking square one where they started.
Right? It like you said, it's a rigged game. I mean, if they sit there and they capitulate to all the whims, then they get nothing. When they go ahead and don't capitulate, they get nothing.
Exactly.
You know, and so it's all like no matter what you do, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And so people don't the people are starting to realize this, and they're starting to realize that the only way to win at the game is to not play in the first place.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think that's what they can't handle.
Yep. Well, it's kind of like with with gambling parlors. If no one goes in, then the gambling parlor goes bust. Right? That's the only way that the gambling parlor will go bust. That's the only way. Because if anyone is playing, they're playing a game. They're playing in a situation where the gambling parlor or casino, whatever you want to fucking call it, is everything's rigged in their favor.
Exactly.
So they're always going to be making a profit.
And I mean,
But the thing is, if no one fucking plays, then they have the overhead cost without the fucking profit.
Exactly. But the thing is, even what they don't realize is the casino isn't even the woman, really. The casino's the government.
Yep.
You know, but they don't get that.
The women are just the card dealers.
Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much how it rolls. You know, but then, yeah, I just don't understand them. I don't get why hate.
And just remember, it is customary to tip the card dealer for taking your money.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Remember, that is the thing. It is customary to tip your card dealer even if you lost money hand over fist.
Yeah, and that's no fucking good.
Yeah, and so it's all like so yeah, I mean, in all honesty, I think that this is probably the best analogy I've heard, and I'm not, tooting our horn or anything, but I've never actually heard this analogy used. It might have been used somewhere else. I don't know. If anyone's heard this analogy, please go ahead and link it in the comments.
I know they've referred it to being like a casino, but I don't think I've heard it go this sort of deep into it on this kind of a depth and looking into it. But this is it.
Yeah, and you see, this is the type of shit that drives Sin absolutely fucking nuts about me. Is I'm willing to go into that deep aspect of something like this. I'm willing to go ahead and go, all right, let's trace this all the way down to the molecular level.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah,
but that, I've always been like that. Even when I was a little kid, like, I was always like, well, how does that work? And then they explain it. Well, how does that work? I don't know. Well, where can I go to find out? I don't know. Well, then what use are you to me?
Exactly. Get out of my way.
I actually said that to one of my teachers and got in trouble. I actually said that to one of my teachers and got in trouble. I got sent up to the principal's office for it.
No shit.
Yeah. Welcome to second grade.
Yeah, you know it.
No, seriously, in second grade, I almost got suspended for asking a teacher what use they were to me because they couldn't answer my questions.
No, and to be fair, they're just there to indoctrinate.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is even they're indoctrinated.
Yeah.
And
you see, that's another issue. This is something that would have to happen over the course of a very, very long time to correct the issues that we've got going on right now. So that way we don't end up with Anitas and fucking Zoe Quinns and all that. The only way we can fix it is over the course of a very long time through a very slow fucking change. And it's just not going to fucking happen because there's such a large force
there's
trying to press these issues forward.
I mean, there's been so much damage done over the years.
Like the only way I could see, and I guess this is kind of a nihilistic, hopeful aspect. The only way I could see for these issues to actually be resolved in any way, shape, or form is for a new country to pop up that doesn't have this shit, that doesn't allow this shit to fucking happen.
Well, you see, the thing is,
and good fucking luck with that.
I mean, I think, right, this is probably going to sound a bit bizarre, but maybe you can see where I'm coming from. This is something that, the whole feminist thing, they always bang on about how they're oppressed. And this is something that I brought up in one of my videos recently, whereas that they went on about, the feminists gone about how they're being oppressed and how they've been trying to shut down the Red Pill movie from being screened.
Are you seeing the chat?
I can't at the moment, man.
Sin responded to me. He said, no, what ticks me off is even when I end up being right, he goes so deep that he ends up being never wrong.
That fucking guy.
Yeah, you see, this is what happens when a man manages to actually keep his fucking sanity while being raised around primarily fucking females and learning the ins and outs of their way of arguing. This is what happens. I am the fucking result. I am the monster that comes from that.
Yeah, they do say women create some nasty things sometimes, but you know, when it comes to not in a bad
Well,
nasty way, but
figure it
you
this
know,
way. Figure it this way. All right, feminists sit there and say, "Well, every person in the world was birthed by a woman." Yeah, including Hitler, bitch.
yeah, it's true.
It's all like, guess what? If you're going to sit there and take responsibility for all the positive in that way, guess what? You're taking responsibility for all the monsters too.
Well,
So
but they won't. They would. This is where it starts kicking in. They don't want to take responsibility for that part of it.
oh no, I went to that, and one person had the best fucking response, and I had to fucking laugh because I'm like, oh my god, this is actually going to be a real argument someday. I know this is going to be a real argument someday. They said, no, Hitler was a test tube baby.
Oh fuck!
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, of course they were joking. You know, they started laughing. They're all like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's too insane even for me. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm so glad you're not fucking serious there.
Yeah, but the thing is, some people will say that and believe it, though. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah. Some people think that Hitler was an alien that came down specifically to keep us in check. I've actually heard people legitimately believe that.
Well, I'm still not too sure about the whole alien thing, even with that. I mean, I don't know. It's possible, but I'm not convinced, you know?
Yeah. But it's also possible that Anita Sarkeesian, you know, in some capacity is not a fucking psychopathic bitch.
Okay, look, I hate to break it to you, but she may not be a psychopath, but she's definitely got some fucking issues that she needs to work on. That's for sure.
You think she's not a psychopath, really?
Well, that's another level up there. I mean, if we're talking psychopath, we're talking the type of girlfriend that stabs you, throws a laptop at you, does all that kind of shit. That is what I'd define as a fucking psychopath.
She doesn't have an issue with that sort of shit.
No, okay, then yeah, maybe she is a fucking psychopath. maybe.
She honestly thinks that pretty much anything that a woman does to a man is justified because of patriarchy. That is how deep she is into this shit.
Okay, so yeah, she's a fucking. You know what? If ever the term fucking zealot came to mind, that is it. Because zealot is like a fucking radicalist, man.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the reason why I have such an issue with her, is because of the pure and simple fact that she is a zealot.
Well,
you know, I don't like zealots on either side. Like, I don't like zealot MGTOWs either. You know,
exactly.
it's not a question of what your beliefs are. It's a question of, are you saying that your beliefs allow you to do things that other people should not be allowed to do unless they hold the same belief?
Yeah.
At that point, I have an issue with you.
And the morals are, you know, if there's no, you know, there's no morals behind it, you know, they're just doing it to be a cunt sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I can't really say that because, I mean, I do shit to be a cunt every once in a while.
But
I'll be honest. I'll go out looking to pick a fight from time to time. I mean, I've done that.
Yeah, but there's a difference between that, and then there's a difference between having the agenda, like, you know, Anita Sarkeesian and Big Red, and you know, all those that are fucking absolutely fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah, that's sit there and say shit that's self-contradictory, and then sit there and say that they're never wrong. It's all like,
yeah.
You've already proven yourself wrong. Like with the with the article that came out recently. I don't know if you heard about it or not. You watch Sargon's channel, right?
Yeah.
Well, then you probably heard of it, and it was the whole universal white male privilege thing is not universal.
Well, of course it's not.
You know, they're because of the North Korea thing where the guy got arrested for 15 years and ended up coming back dead because he went brain dead from the beatings.
Yeah, no, I didn't know all of that.
Sitting there and saying, "Good, I'm glad it happened."
Sorry?
Yeah, no, people were sitting there and saying, "Good, I'm glad it happened." They were glad that a person was sentenced to 15 years for tearing down a propaganda poster.
Yeah, it was a poster, wasn't it?
And he ended up dying for it.
And the evidence was questionable as well.
Huh?
And the evidence was questionable because it wasn't a clear video from what I could gather.
Yeah, no, but the thing is they don't need that, because there it's basically if the government says you did it, you
they say goes, yeah, exactly. But that's the exact sort of communist authoritarian that
it sounds almost like a false rape allegation in America, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. And you know, so to go back to whether, you know, if Anita said that is fine that person died, then yes, she's a fucking psychopath. She shouldn't be allowed to be making public speeches on anything. She should be locked up in a fucking room with mattresses all around. You know what I
mean? We don't need another mattress girl.
You funny cunt. Yeah, no, just a room with mattresses so she can't hurt herself. Yeah, her own little personal echo chamber.
Well, then she's gonna sit.
Then
she's gonna sit there and yell and scream that the mattresses are there as a imminent looming threat because she can be raped on every one of the mattresses. You know,
right. We'll draw cocks on them just so she gets the message. Then, not a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
No, just go ahead and do the body outline thing for a dead body type of thing on each of the mattresses, each one in a different sexual position.
But yeah, I mean, to bring it back though, she's, to me, from what I'm gathering now, I'd say she's just fucking dangerous.
Yeah, like in all honesty, anytime someone gets that large of a following and is that bigoted and that zealous about it and is actively dehumanizing other people, that they are dangerous. Because the thing is figure it this way: her fans are fucking insane. But the thing is that's with anyone. You know, I mean, everyone has that one insane fan. Like, I mean, hell, I have Sin as a fan. You know, but the thing is when like, you have those crazy motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
And so her sitting there and calling Sargon human garbage, you know, if one of them was to kill Sargon and then when asked why, they said, well, I was just taking out the trash, would Anita be held responsible for it?
Well, no, of course she wouldn't. She even if she was the one to do it, she wouldn't accept responsibility.
You know, and so it's
she'd want.
I'm not talking about her accepting responsibility. I'm talking about her being held responsible. You don't have to accept the responsibility.
This. You see, thing is, this goes back to the whole narcissism thing, and how they use other people to do their bidding.
Yep,
that's exactly that. It's the same with that shooting that happened a little while ago with the was it the Democrats that got shot at?
Yeah. No, it was the Republicans.
No, it was the Republicans. That was it.
Yeah, it was a Bernie Sanders supporter.
That's right. And yeah, basically, with all the constant bullshit that the mainstream media has been pushing out, you know, because a normal regular person isn't going to go and do that. It's going to be someone that, like you say, they've already got a fucking something a bit missing in the upstairs department, you know, that's not firing on all cylinders or whatever. And the media know that if they push their fucking narrative enough, someone out there sooner or later is going to fucking snap, you know. Yep. And that's exactly what happened. You know, the guy did all the videos prior to him doing the shooting. You know, it was all the videos of him with his guns and that and all that sort of shit. So it was already unhinged to begin with. And it was just a matter of time and, you know, like a bit more pushing by the mainstream media, because they know sooner or later someone will snap. There's always that person out there. You know, and this is, we get the exact same sort of thing when it comes to having the blame pushed onto MGTOW. to sort of like to kind of keep it relative, but to go off subject ever slightly. And the amount of people that mostly white knights and manginas that refer to MGTOW or most MGTOW as the next Elliot Rodgers, purely because one guy was fucking slightly unhinged and obviously had problems that weren't fucking dealt with. It went ignored until he got to the point where he lost his shit. So that was, you know, in the same kind of way, whereas the white knights and that are always saying, "Oh yeah, fucking MGTOW, yeah, you're just the next Elliot Rodgers waiting to fucking kill someone." Well, that's not necessarily fucking true. I mean, yes, there are going to be guys out there that are somewhat unhinged, you know, and they might have gone MGTOW for whatever reason, and yeah, it might take a bit of, you know, battering on by someone else before you push that someone to the edge. But the thing is that they were already fucking damaged to begin with. You know, and so to bring that back round to Anita, no, she wouldn't be held accountable. She wouldn't be. She'd get away with it. Then the thing is, like you say, with a fan base like what she's got, I'm sure there's no shortage of fucking psychopaths that are just waiting to fucking hear the green light to go and do some fucked up shit to someone just because.
Well, I still remember when she was sitting there and doing that one speech where she claimed to be an expert on video games and all that sort of thing, and an expert on women being represented in video games. And she sat there and asked, "Where's my army?" And a whole bunch of people are fucking cheering. And Sargon even called it. He froze frame right there when it showed all of them. And he's all like, there is your army.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and it's all like, yeah, no, he's 100%.
But this is it. And I mean, it's the other shit is, you know, the other shit side of it, of feminism, and that is, it is a cult-like mentality. You know, it really is. I mean, hence, I mean, all right, let's say, for instance, because I'm still a bit I'm undecided about the whole Lacey Green thing and the red pill. But I've noticed there's a few more of the feminists coming away from feminism now because they're supposedly taking the red pill and seeing shit for what it is.
Well, here's the thing. Like with Lacey Green, I would actually be willing to talk to her at this point after her latest video. I would. Well, the latest video that I've seen. I would actually be willing to fucking talk to her and explain shit to her. But the thing is she would actually have to be willing to fucking listen, because I could answer her fucking questions on that.
Yeah, exactly that.
But the thing is, you know, would she actually be willing to listen? That's the question. I would be willing to put her to the test there.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be an interesting.
Yeah, that's the one I'm referring to, Sin. Yeah, it's called Only Two Genders. And so the thing is I would be willing to talk to her on that. I would absolutely love to have her on a stream and explain, you know, my position on that. So that way she could, you know, kind of wrap her head around the thought patterns. Or at least attempt to.
Well, this is
I mean, sometimes people have a hard time following my thought patterns, and I understand that. I mean, I know I'm fucked up in the head. But, you know.
But yeah, I mean, like you say, it's down to whether they'd be happy to, you know, actually listen and take it on board. But then, like she said before, if she's still got, like I said, I haven't seen the most recent video, but if she's still got the same mentality and the same viewpoints as what she had before, then she's not going to be prepared to listen. So,
well, she was the point with her video. She was basically saying what she thought of, you know, like the different arguments that she's heard. It was basically her regurgitating the arguments from all sides for the most part. And she's actually trying to separate out feminism now. And that's what's got me a little bit skittish from that fucking video, because she was trying to sit there and say feminists and then liberal feminists. She's trying to separate that.
Trying to make sects, yeah, definitely.
And I'm like, oh, no, bitch, no. That doesn't fucking happen. No, like at that point, I call bullshit. because of the pure and simple fact that it's all like when people think feminism, if they are a liberal, they think equality and so on and so forth. You know, they think that bullshit. They think the first definition. Whereas if they're conservative, they think the second definition, where it's about the furthering of female rights.
Huh. Yeah, like they need that.
Yeah, but the thing is that's where you come into that differential. And the thing is, there are some women, like I actually know one woman, you know, IRL, that honestly believes that, you know, women should have exactly the same rights as men. And I sat there and I actually talked with her. I was all like, all right, here's the thing. Name one right that a man doesn't have, that a man has over a woman, that a woman doesn't have. She was unable to answer that. And so then she tried to turn it around on me. Well, right, what rights do women have that men don't have? And so I started nuking her.
Yeah.
Just one after the other after the other. And all of a sudden, she just kind of went silent. And I sat there and I said, so, is feminism still relevant? I just straight up came at her. I'm like, look, is feminism still relevant at this point? You were unable to argue your point of view. I was able to argue mine in a drunken stupor. So
yeah, kind of shut that shit down, sharpish.
No, you're allowed to know women as in real life as a MGTOW. I mean, it's a great reminder of why you're a MGTOW, Sin.
Yeah, it reminds you how you're still sane.
It reminds you of the reason why you said "fuck this noise" and walked away from the plantation.
That is exactly that, man. I mean, it's realizing the dangers. And I mean, yeah, it's, you know, of course we don't want to think that every woman is like that, but let's face it, when they have that much more power in the legal system over a guy, you know, you got to seriously ask yourself, do I want to play this game?
See, I figure it this way. For me, it's the same thing as being in a room with a snake. If the snake's on the other side of the room, leaving me the fuck alone, I'm not going to fuck with it.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to keep an eye on it because I know that at any point it can decide to come over and fuck my world up.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I'm going to keep my guard up. It doesn't mean that I'm going to go over there and cut the head off the fucking snake just as a preemptive strike. No.
Yeah, I mean,
but the thing is, at the same time, it's you sitting there and just recognizing the threat. It doesn't mean that the threat is always going to come to fruition.
Yeah, but be aware.
You have to recognize it.
Exactly that. You know, you have to be prepared to counter it, knowing that you're not going to have many people on your side because you have a penis and not a vagina. That's what you got to remember. That's what it comes down to.
You have a snake, therefore you're considered the threat.
Yeah, something on them lines.
Although the thing is the woman will bitch about you putting the snake into the cave, or if you don't put the snake in the cave, she'll bitch about that.
Exactly. Well, mate, this is one of the things I've been going through over the last couple of days. I've sort of been giving things thought. It's sort of, I think it's because I've got like that track on mentality going on there.
Yeah.
Whereas you know, it's difficult because, you know, you sort of look around and you see all the families and, you know, the women with kids, but at the moment I'm on the other side of the tracks. You know, like I'm not in a place where I used to be, where you might well see the woman with the kids and the husband and all that, but you know full well that woman is cheating on her husband. You know, you actually know it's going on. You know, it's not like an assumption because you're thinking it; it's actually happening. Whereas where I'm at now, there isn't a lot of that because it's, I don't know, it's a different kind of society, the different mentality. So at the moment, I've got that. Well, yeah, maybe there isn't a Walt out there, or a unicorn, or whatever. But at the same time, I'm thinking, well, hang on. I've thought that so many times before, and I've been burnt so many times before. Would I be a fucking idiot to try again?
Well,
You know,
figure it this way. Let's just say that you had to go ahead and flip a coin. All right?
Yeah.
If it comes up heads, you get $1 million a year for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
No taxes taken out of it, nothing like that. But if it comes up tails, you have to pay $100,000 a year for the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly that.
Are you going to take that? No, you are not. And you only get one flip. You don't get a redo.
No, it's exactly that. And, you know, especially with like...
Especially when you have to grab out of a bag of fucking coins. And in that bag of coins, there's only one coin with a heads on it. The other ones are double tails.
Yeah, you know it.
And there's only one coin out of like 400 coins. The odds are not in your favor. You're not gonna fucking do it. You're gonna be like, yeah, no, fuck that noise. I'm leaving.
Not down with that shit.
Yeah, you know, that's how I look at it. Because the thing is there's so many ways that you can get fucked over as a man. I mean, so many fucking ways. And I'm not saying that there aren't ways that women can get fucked over, but the odds of them getting completely fucked over and being left completely out in the cold are slim to none.
It's not going to happen.
They've almost always got a fallback. Whereas with guys, you get fucked over,
you're finished.
Not only are you fucked over, but then you get mocked for getting fucked over.
Yeah, pretty much. There is that. There is that, man.
And so it's a real issue. Yeah, no, seriously, Sin. Yeah, no, the quote from Hunger Games: "May odds forever be in your favor."
Yeah, that sounds like one of them.
No, Sin, I haven't gotten a chance to see the live stream that you did. I've had some shit that I had to take care of. That's the reason why I haven't made a couple of videos already, because I had it was funny. When you get a chance, Dilgaf, go to my Bachelor video.
Yeah.
And read the comments.
All right, okay.
No, seriously, dude. Honestly, it's fucking amazing. I actually have screenshots of the comments, and I am going to be making a fucking video on that shit because someone went ahead and in real time proved me right.
Okay.
Thinking that they were somehow defeating my argument.
What was this? Do you know the username off the top of your head? Like, do you know
not off the top of my head, no.
I wonder if it's one of my friends.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Your friends seem pretty fucked up.
Don't. They're not.
I mean, hell, I'm a friend and I'm fucked up, so there you go.
Yeah,
but
yeah, the ones I'm talking about aren't my friends.
Let's see.
No, the fucking saga continues, man. It's fucking funny. They've resorted back down to name calling, shaming, and hoping that my motorbike gets stolen.
Hoping that your what will get stolen?
My bike, my motorcycle.
Really?
Honestly, man. Honestly, it's fuck. You know, because I did a video over the weekend about fitting the ape hangers, and this fucking idiot who come in with the other two that you did the video before about the Clinton style defense.
Yeah.
Well, them clowns. Well, one of them's come back again, and you know he's obviously a bit fucking bored or something, or maybe his missus wasn't giving him any or whatever. Maybe if she left me alone a bit more often, maybe she'd be able to give him some. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so he'd been paying me a bit more of a visit today, and yeah, just usual shaming tactic, name calling, like nothing fucking productive. So I just fucking told him how it was. So,
wow.
What can you do, right?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to find the thing. I don't know. I'm able to. I'll be able to find them at some point. I have all the screenshots saved, and I have them saved in Google Drive, but for some odd reason, my computer's just not wanting to pull it up. But yeah, no, the thing is, the person claims to be a female, and she claims that, you know, she gives her man sex anytime he wants, you know, that sort of thing. And it's all like, okay, good for you. But the thing is at that point, you're using anecdotal evidence, have no fucking way of knowing if that's true or not. Yeah. And then also at the same time, you know, it's kind of like asking someone, like, if you're sitting there and you're accused of theft, and the odds are you are guilty, like there's a lot of fucking circumstantial evidence against you on it, and then you sitting there and going, well, I said I didn't do it, why don't you believe me? When you haven't brought up any actual evidence of the thing. But then also at the same time, it's all like, you know, I've always been against the whole listen and believe thing. I've always been against that. Because now, honestly, I believe in the innocent until proven guilty aspect. I really do. I think that's the best way to go about it. Are there going to be some people that are guilty that walk free? Yes, but it means there's going to be less people that are innocent that are going to be incarcerated, if you're actually holding true to that. Unfortunately, our legal system right now doesn't hold true to that.
No, well, it's very biased and one-sided, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Well, it's not even one-sided. There's multiple sides to all this. It's just, unfortunately, it basically like the sides are the progressive stack.
Yeah.
And that's a big fucking issue. And that's one of the reasons why I have such a big problem with our current governmental and legal system, because of the pure and simple fact that you're not getting actual equal representation. Like, a lot of people are like, well, there's a lot of these white males in there. It's all like, yeah, but how many of them are sitting there and actually parroting the whole, like the lies, like hands up, don't shoot, and all of that? They're not representing whites at that point. They're not.
They're not. No,
they're not representing police. They're not representing their constituents. They're not representing anyone in that way. They're representing their own self-interests.
Exactly that, yeah.
And so that is an issue. Just because you're white does not mean that you want the same thing as every other white person. Just like if you're black, it doesn't mean you want the same thing as every other black person.
Exactly that.
Everyone is an individual. But also at the same time, holding a position like that, you have to put your own personal shit aside. You have to be able to do that. And these people are not able to do it. The people that are currently in office.
No, again, but then with that, it's because they've got their own thing going on, you know, because they're benefiting from it. That's why.
Yeah. Well, and also here in the U.S., like, I don't know if this is a thing over in the U.K. or anything like that. I haven't gone this deep into your politics. But here in the U.S., it used to be, we used to call bribes, and bribes are illegal. But now, they've basically legalized bribes by calling them, quote unquote, donations.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like the Clinton Foundation, right?
Oh, the Clinton Foundation, believe it or not, is actually the least of our concerns.
Oh,
shit. As far as that goes.
Fuck.
Like, because the thing is the whole lobbying thing, it's just legalized bribery. Just pure and simple. I'm not even gonna fucking candy coat it. It is legalized bribery. And so the fact of the matter is at this point, the only way to try to start rooting out corruption is to go ahead and start calling bribes again. Good fucking luck with that, because who are the people that make the call on that? Oh, the people taking the fucking bribes.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, it's probably not going to be too dissimilar over here. I mean, we're usually only a few weeks behind anything that happens in the States, like, you know.
Oh, well, this has been going on for fucking years.
In fact,
absolute fucking years. I forget exactly when they put that in. I think if it's not been going on for a decade, it's damn fucking close.
I mean, I think, to be honest, you're probably looking at the 80s. I mean, what we call them over here is brown envelopes, which brown envelopes usually contain cash, which is the bribe. But so as, like you say, so as to not call it a bribe, they call it a brown envelope.
Yeah, it sounds like that's basically your version of the shit. It's just you guys are just a little more openly shady about it.
Yeah, it's just a brown envelope, mate. It's fine.
But you know, it's all like, well, shit. But the thing is when I sit here and I look at this shit, it pisses me off so damn much. It's all like, you know what? Our government is supposed to be working for us, not for special interests. How's it going, Daniel?
Hey, Dan.
But yeah, it just pisses me off when our government tries to say, "Oh, well, we're the will of the people." No, you're not. You're the will of the 1%.
Yeah,
that's what it is right now. Like, and a lot of people are all like, "Oh, well, that's kind of tinfoil hat." It's all like, no, actually, it isn't, because yeah, they're taking bribes from these people, and they've just basically said, "Yeah, we're just legalizing bribery." You really think that's the will of the people? No.
Call it something different and sugarcoat it.
Yeah, it's all like, I mean, you know, if you're gonna piss on us, at least have the courtesy of calling it rain. You know?
Yeah, pretty much.
But the thing is, you know, I've heard so many people sitting there and praising that psychopath that ended up going ahead and shooting up that baseball practice.
Well, yeah,
like,
and again,
and I'm not even talking about like just on social media, because you're gonna expect that shit on social media, right?
Yeah.
But no, on news stations.
But again, that goes down to the well, they consider themselves progressive. I consider them regressive. You know, but that's what they're doing. That's why if you want real media,
terrorists, I'm gonna call it out as I see it. No, these people need to be sent to fucking Guantanamo and fucking waterboarded until death.
Well, the thing is, the media only ever, like, especially mainstream media, they'll only give one side of the story, and it's going to be the side that they want you to hear. Whereas if you go to YouTube to see shit for what it is, you get the truth.
Yep, because you get a wide variety. Although places like Evergreen, yeah, I'm bringing that fucking place up again, have been actively working with YouTube trying to get the videos that are proving the fucking abuse and shit that those students have been doing.
Yeah.
They're trying to get those taken down.
Yeah, because again, they don't, because
they're trying to say that the video was stolen, even though it was posted by the person who shot it on their social media account.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not called stolen. That's called you putting something out on the internet and the internet never forgetting.
Yeah, exactly. But they don't like it when they do that. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah, no, they gotta fucking absolutely hate me, because I have a memory like a steel fucking trap. It's all like, when something fucked up like that happens, my brain's all like, yep, I'm dedicating a few brain cells specifically to that and growing some more to make more room.
This shit needs to be remembered.
It's all like, no, it's all like, yep, we're going to go ahead and file that away under encyclopedic knowledge of tomfuckery. But you know, it's just one of those situations of, why in the fuck would you sit there and say that you're on the right side of history when you're trying to erase that history?
Yeah, because they don't want to be fucking seen as being caught out doing what they're doing, when this is it. What they're doing, they know is wrong.
Well, and that's the reason why they're trying to sit there and block cameras now and saying recording me is illegal.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the thing is remember the video I did on cameras being a social condom?
Yeah.
Did I not fucking call that shit?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you called it. Exactly that.
I know at this point I sound kind of like angry MGTOW, but shit. But I'm all like, no, I fucking called it. I mean, I made that video, and then a few weeks later, all of a sudden, a bunch of videos coming out of a bunch of SJWs sitting there and saying recording me is illegal and all that, and attacking people for recording them. Saying that person recording them in a public space.
Yeah, which is legal.
Which is fully legal, and in fact is even... Lawyers are saying you should do this. You should always have a recording device going while you are out in a public space, wherever it is legal to do so, to cover your ass.
Exactly.
Lawyers are starting to fucking say this shit.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even so, sometimes I don't know about over in the US, but in the UK, it doesn't have to be. It's down to the judge as to whether they accept it as evidence. So even though someone could potentially get fucking murdered and have that on video on their person when it happened, the judge could still turn around and be like, "No, I'm not accepting this."
See, the judges aren't supposed to exactly have that power here, but they do.
Yeah.
But I mean, since when have Democrats ever honored the fucking law?
Well,
I mean, honestly, over here. I mean, I'm not saying all Republicans honor the fucking law. I'm not saying that they haven't done shit either. But it's all like when you sit there and you look at these judges that are getting nailed for, for ignoring evidence, for being biased, for having personal ties and all that to people that they were presiding over their case. It almost always is a fucking liberal or Democrat judge.
Yeah, exactly that.
Almost every fucking time. And that right there speaks volumes. Because either it means Republicans are smarter and they can get away with it easier because of that extra intelligence, or it means that Democrats and liberals are more likely to ignore laws to further their own political goals.
Which is closer to the truth.
I mean, the 9th and 4th Circuit here in the U.S., right there, you got your proof of it right there.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it's fucking. But this is it. I mean, when you think about the sort of grand scheme of it, and not just MGTOW being rigged, but really, even life is fucking rigged, as we know it.
Yeah.
I
mean, no, yeah. I mean, I fully understand that life is rigged. Nature's kind of a cunt. So I get that. I mean, that's the reason why it's Mother Nature. Because here's the thing. Nature doesn't always get shit done, right? Nature likes to get pissy every once in a while and throw its toys out the pram. Father Time marches forward and consistently gets shit done regardless of what's happening in the world. So that's why you got Mother Nature, the unstable fucking cunt, and then you got Father Time, the stable, I'm going to get it done consistently and efficiently.
Yep, pretty much. That's pretty much what it comes down to. But again,
so the thing is even when people were thinking up these things, it's all like, I'm wondering if they actively knew this shit when they were saying it, or if it was just one of those things of subconscious. Yeah, no, this is a thing.
I think it's probably more of some subconscious and then brought.
Yeah, in all honesty, I think it was subconscious. But then you've got these people that are sitting here and saying that it's okay to punch a Nazi. Well, who's to say who is a Nazi? Because the thing is, I mean, in all honesty, if you take a look at Antifa and feminism and all that sort of thing, they have a lot more in common with Nazism than conservatism does.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, the thing is,
and Democrats are actually pulling actual Nazi-Reich movements now. They are using the same fucking shit that the Nazis actually used in Germany.
Exactly that. And
there is actually some truth to Trump making a headway on his on several bills, actually. Because the thing is with the current investigations that are happening as far as the Hillary thing and all that, it's really taking the wind out of their sails, because now they've actually got some neutral people in there that are just following the fucking evidence. And they're all like, no, this is breaking the law. This is breaking the law. This is how this law was broken. This is how this statute was broken. This is how this was ignored. This is how this is illegal. we're going to hold these people responsible. And as they're going through and doing that, it's showing more and more collusion and more cover-ups and more ignoring of the law and the furthering of the dual-track legal system that we have. And the Senate is getting sick of it. The Senate is getting sick of this dual-track system. Congress is starting to get sick of the dual-track system. And in fact, there's a few congressmen that are actually now being tied to some of this fucking tomfoolery. So yeah, like those movements are going forward because now people are actively seeing it and there's no way to hide it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I know I kind of went off there, but
no, that's cool. No, I was just thinking, yeah. At the same time, there's not enough people doing. I mean, there are people doing stuff to like fight it. But as always, they're being fucking silenced in the usual fucking manners.
Well, actually, the whole silencing thing isn't really happening over here anymore. More and more people are making noise about it, saying, "Damn the consequence."
And we had an interesting thing happen over here this weekend, whereas they had 10,000 football fans, like soccer fans. All
yeah, I saw that. I saw that speech from that Sikh. Oh my god, hell yes. Oh, dude, no, I was fucking cheering. I was actually cheering out loud while fucking watching that. I know my neighbors thought I was absolutely batshit crazy. Because I was out in my front yard smoking cigarettes, listening to that shit, just going, fuck yeah!
But yeah, the thing is, though, there was no mainstream media coverage. You know?
Of course there wasn't any mainstream media coverage because they
didn't suit their fucking narrative.
Sit there and spin it as them being violent, because then they would have to sit there and say, oh, look, you know, they're you know, this Muslim sitting here and saying that this shit's wrong, he's Islamophobic.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that shit.
No, exactly.
Good luck with that shit. Because at that point, all of a sudden, the people in the UK, a lot of them would wake up and go, wait, what?
Yeah. Well,
so like you're calling a fucking Muslim leader Islamophobic for condemning terrorist acts.
Well, this is it. And yeah, it's fucking... But look what it's taken, and still look what happens with the mainstream. They still don't fucking want people to know. They still want to just...
Well, maybe if you guys could get rid of your fucking Muslim leaders, you could actually make some fucking headway. Just saying. I mean, we got our own fucking issues over here. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting there and saying that that's only a problem that you have. I'm not saying that. But the thing is you guys have Muslim leaders that are much more out in the open about it than over here.
Yeah.
Because over here, you know, there's enough, you know, to take that shit out. We still have our banjos.
But again, I think a lot of it is down to culture, and I think that the thing is with the Brits, we put up with a lot more before we snap. You know, we'll literally let it get to, you know, it's the expression of not turning the heat up on the water, otherwise the frog will jump out.
Yeah.
Whereas the frog is slowly realizing that, hey, this shit's getting a little bit hot in here, and you know, we need to get the fuck out and do something about it.
It's all like, wait a minute. I got into this water because it was nice and cool, and now I have swamp ass while sitting in this water. But no, honestly, like it's a similar thing with the conservatives over here in the U.S. If you actually take a look at the U.S.'s history, it's, you know, the Democrats, you know, pushing, and then all of a sudden the conservatives over the course of like 10 years just smack them the fuck down and then calm back down.
Yeah.
The conservatives are the sleeping dragon that the Japanese fear.
Oh, fair, yeah.
Because that's what happened, was the conservatives finally stood up and said, you know what, fuck all of you, no, we're doing this shit. And they sat there and pinned down the Democrats and said, look, sit there and let the adults take care of this. You're fucking everything up. And then all of a sudden, you know, as soon as the fucking conservatives got in, all of a sudden that war stopped right quick and in a hurry.
Funny how that works.
But now we've had Democrat, 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 Democrat in Republican clothing, Democrat, 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 and now all of a sudden we have a real Republican in. And it's right in line with the pattern. And now all of a sudden you're seeing conservatives starting to physically fight back against shit like Antifa and all that. You're starting to see more and more videos of that shit. And unfortunately for women, Republicans have also noticed that there is a link between, you know, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and feminism.
Yeah.
And so now even feminism is starting to get violent responses back. And so you're getting these videos of, you know, the equality meter off the scale videos. I don't know if you've seen those.
No, I haven't, man.
It's where guys are sitting there and knocking bitches to the fucking ground after they've pushed them too far.
Oh, right. Actually, yeah, no, I have seen some of them, actually, yeah.
Oh, my God. You started seeing a rash of those things. And it's all like, yeah, you see, that's what happens when
you want equality.
When you push people too far. You know, eventually they're going to sit there and they're going to stand up and they're going to tell you to sit the fuck down.
Yeah, exactly that. But then at the same, you know, they wanted all the equality and everything that goes with it. Well, you know, I'm sorry, but that's equality. So
right, it's all like, I'm sorry. Like, honestly, the best thing I've ever heard someone fucking say in regards to it is, if you're going to act like a man, be prepared to be treated like a man.
Yeah, exactly.
And exactly I absolutely love it when people fucking say that, because that's the truth, except for one big issue. Women will sit there and act like a man, and they'll get treated like a man socially, but legally they're still treated like a woman.
Yeah, exactly that.
And so, so they still have that edge. But the thing is we're out of room in our prisons now. Yeah, so it's all like a man snaps, he goes in, someone else gets released out early to make room. And so it's just this revolving fucking door.
Yeah, and it doesn't really achieve much.
And so, yeah, you know, it's one of those situations of the Democrats have really fucked themselves over, because they've taken away any way of actually punishing someone for not towing the line. But at the same time, they want people to think that they're protecting them when they've rendered themselves incapable of protecting anyone. Whereas conservatives are all like, no, if you go out and you kill a whole bunch of people, we kill you. Yeah, that's the conservative view. Is, look, you know, we're not going to sit there and give you a slap on the wrist for you blowing someone's brains out. But the Democrats, you know, the bleeding hearts that they fucking are, oh, life has value. Yeah, it does have value. This motherfucker just put himself into the debt. Time to pay up.
Yeah, but my feelings.
Yeah, well, you know my view on that. I fully agree with the saying, fuck your feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, honestly, I fucking hate this feeling-based bullshit that we've got going on. I absolutely hate it.
That's what's causing all these fucking problems.
Right? Everyone's so interested about feelings now that they just neglect reality.
Yeah, exactly. Which is,
they're willing to deny reality because it doesn't line up with their feelings. It's all like, yeah, no, reality really doesn't care about your feelings.
Yeah, reality gives no fucks about your feelings.
I mean, in all honesty, like the world really doesn't care. Yeah, and you know, all these people think that they're so fucking important. It's all like, here's the thing: if someone was to walk up and shoot you in the fucking head, you might get an entry in the newspaper for a little bit, and then the world moves on.
Yeah.
That is how much you matter. You are a fart in the wind.
Yeah, man.
That's what you are.
Down to.
And some people, you know, yeah, they're a fart that lingers a little longer than others. But eventually you're still going to dissipate and be forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it rolls, man. That's, you know, it's kind of ironic how they say, you know, yeah, we want to leave a mark on, you know, a good impression on the planet. But for the most part, it doesn't happen anymore.
Oh,
Because,
you know what? I would love to leave a good impression on the planet. It's called making a giant glass sculpture out of Islamic states. No, honestly, it's all like, you know what? If you've got this big of a fucking issue, if you've got constant problems coming out of an area, glass it. I know that's cold-hearted. I know that there's going to be some innocence there, but Jesus Christ. It's all like, what about our innocents that are dying daily?
Yeah.
What about our women that are being fucking raped and then being told that they're Islamophobic for reporting it?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it.
What about our children that are being kidnapped and forced to go off and marry at the age of 8?
Yeah,
or younger?
Exactly, but again, it's been brought down to the but feelings. That's exactly what it's been brought down to.
Well, guess what? If you're going to go on feelings, everyone's feelings are just as valid as everyone else's. And guess what? There's a lot of people with the feeling of, yeah, let's bring a fucking stop to this. So at that point, you go with majority rules. And the majority is saying, fuck this shit.
Yeah, but then with that, it goes back to,
Then it goes back to the double standard and double think of, oh, well, if you're white, then your feelings don't matter at all because you're human garbage.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, it gets so fucking stupid. And it's all like, a lot of people are all like, well, there's got to be a way of peacefully resolving this. No, there isn't a way of peacefully resolving something if your opponent is insisting on violence.
Exactly.
If your opponent does not see you as an equal or even as human, there is no way whatsoever of a possible peaceful resolution to the issue. That's just, I'm sorry, but that's reality. There's a reason why we still have wars. There's a reason why we can't always just talk shit out. Not to mention, it's not in our nature as humans to sit there and talk every last thing out. No, sometimes it just comes down to, all right, you know what? Let's have an arm wrestling contest. Or how about this? We both stand here, we take turns punching each other, the last one standing wins. You know, we've got that fucking mentality put into us by nature. And trying to deny that is trying to deny part of what makes us us. That's us dehumanizing ourselves. Once you start denying your own nature, you start denying the own validity of your own existence.
Yeah, exactly, man. But then what are you supposed to do? Because it's being made that you can't win either way.
Well, if you can't win either way, at least have fun while you go down. If society is sitting there and completely fucking failing, well, then ditch civility. At least then you can win on a genetic level.
That's a fucking crazy ass shit house world we live in, man.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I know.
It really fucking is.
And it's creating fuckers like me. I'm all like, dude, how sad is the state of affairs when someone like me is birthed from it? Jesus Christ.
Don't worry, man. There's worse generations than you. Don't fucking worry. It's not even down to fucking individuals. It's down to generations, man.
Oh, even my own generation looks at me and goes, holy shit. My own generation goes, dude, you need to calm down. No, fuck that. You guys are being calm this whole time and you're taking explosives up the ass. If that's what being calm gets you, oh, hell no, I'm going to be the opposite of that. It's all like, no. I will subsist strictly off of rage and anger. Thank you. Thank you very much. Kind of like these people who sit there and the closest thing to meat that they eat is tofu, and yet they end up getting cancer 99.9% of the fucking time because they're fucking with the chemical composition of their body because of the estrogen levels. So, like, why would you fucking do that? You know that this is gonna fucking happen.
Well, I mean, the thing is with that, it's like there's so many arguments being said that there's so much estrogen being put in so much stuff now anyway. How true it is, I don't know.
Well, hell, I think it's funny. I think it's absolutely hilarious. You know, people sit there and they're like, you should drink more water. Why?
What's in it?
Why should I drink more water? It's all like, no. You want to go ahead and you want to bring up fucking studies? Well, guess what's in the fucking water you're drinking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly that.
It's all like, no. I'll stick with my soda and my distilled water. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Because the thing is the water that they use to go ahead and make soda is typically distilled beforehand so they can carbonate it. Because it's very difficult to actually carbonate non-distilled water. It's not very effective. It doesn't hold the carbonation as much. A lot of people don't know that.
Well, even I didn't know that, so there you go.
But no, it's just one of those situations of, it's all like, you've got all these health nuts and all that are sitting there and suggesting all these things that it's turning out are the most harmful shit on the planet for you to be putting in your body. It's all like, yeah, it's not like we had knowledge from before about this shit, I mean,
yeah.
They figured out fairly early what scurvy is. They figured out pretty early on that certain things cause cancer, and typically the things that cause cancer are when you put things that your body's not meant to have in it.
But then again,
we figured out very early on that we're omnivores, that we need both meat and plants to be able to survive and be healthy.
Yeah, good luck telling a fucking vegetarian that.
Oh. I sit there, it's funny because I'm all like, if you were a part of the Donner Party, you would have been one of the first ones eaten. And because of that, because of your scrawny ass, you would have caused someone else to be eaten that might have been able to survive the trip. Because they'd eat you and be hungry again in half an hour. Because there was nothing there other than bone. But at least they wouldn't have to listen to your bitching anymore. So, yeah. I guess there's a positive there. There's the silver lining to the cloud. But, and I'm not one of those people that says eating other people is good. No, that's fucking nasty. I may be a fat ass, but even I wouldn't go that far.
You're bringing fucking cannibalism into it now.
Oh, God.
Fuck, where is this
going?
You
know what? We're talking about feminism, and they are cannibalizing each other. Social justice warriors in general.
Well, this is again, that's another fucking thing that they do. When you see, the thing is, when you ignore these fuckers long enough, they realize that they've got no one to attack because no one's paying them any attention. So then that's when they turn on each other, and that's exactly what is happening with the SJWs. Just exactly what's happening with feminism. Yeah, because you get to that point where it's just sort of like, you know what, I'm not fucking listening to you anymore because you're full of shit, and everything that you say contradicts itself. And even when you get proven wrong, you won't listen to it. So what you do is you walk away and you leave them to it. And yeah, they'll do some fucking stupid shit like Antifa usually do. But again, with them, you got to bear in mind they're being fucking brainwashed, indoctrinated, whatever, by someone else, another group anyway.
And paid.
Yeah. And paid, exactly that.
You see, that's another thing that fucking pisses me off is the whole, like, when they found out that, a lot of these people that were causing the problems, that were the center focal point of the issues that were going on with all this shit, how it ends up that they were being paid, that they were being hired to go there to cause problems.
Yeah, exactly. because that's what they do.
I mean, yeah, I mean, and you talk about it a lot, you know, gaslighting. And so,
exactly that.
But it's one of those things. It's all like we as a culture, just like in Western culture, for some odd reason, somewhere along the line, we got to the point where we started blaming the person who reacts, not the person who initially does something.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what gaslighting is.
And I don't fucking understand how we got to that fucking point. It's all like, if someone comes up and punches you in the face, it's only natural for you to fucking hit back.
Yeah. But then when you do, because what happens is they chat shit before they make their move, they'll chat shit to others, making the other person out to be fucking fucked up crazy or whatever. So that when they do hit them in the face, which they will justify for themselves, even though there is no actual justification, it's just because fuck you, right? That's how it works. It's just because fuck you, I'm going to punch you in the face. And so when that happens and the other person reacts, they're like, yeah, see, I told you this guy was fucking crazy. Look, see, I fucking hit him once and he kicked the shit out of me.
And then they get the mainstream media that'll sit there and only show the reaction. They won't show the initial fucking punch and shit.
Exactly.
And then they sit there and they're all like, oh, well, you have the full fucking video that you put up on YouTube? You're fake news.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all like, oh, what the no, fuck off. It's all like, if your story can't stand up for after showing the full fucking video, there's only one person that's being fake news there. Yeah. And it isn't the person showing the full fucking video and just standing there shrugging.
But then with the same, and I'm not fucking justifying it, so don't get me wrong on this, but it's like shit like that is what makes mainstream media's money. It's all about fucking money. And
I know.
Having someone else to fucking blame that isn't the fucking perpetrator.
Yep. They forgot that their function in society, which a lot of people don't get this. A lot of people don't actually know about journalism and the function that it was meant to serve. It was to speak truth to power. And the thing is they're no longer fit for purpose. They're not.
Because the thing is, the power is corrupt, and so is a lot of the fucking media.
Well, the media is being paid by the power now.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but no. I mean, that's like sitting there and sitting there and looking at a study that sits there and says, oh yeah, tobacco is healthy for you, paid for by Marlboro. You know, yeah. I mean, at that point, would you take that seriously? No, of course not. So why are people taking, shit like CNN, MSNBC, who are actively taking donations, or should I say bribes from Democrat politicians? I mean, same thing with Fox News. I mean, Fox News is no saint either. But I mean, here's the difference. Fox News is willing to call out Republicans on their bullshit too. At least from time to time, not every time. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Fox News is absolutely trustworthy. But the thing is with CNN and MSNBC and all of that, they only tell one fucking side of the story, and they will actively cut someone off when they start telling those inconvenient truths that they can't argue with.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they'll sit there and have a panel of like 9 fucking people versus one person, and all those 9 people are allowed to shout over the others. And if that person refuses to let them shout over, then the moderator comes in and starts putting in his 2 cents. Then you're not a moderator anymore.
No, exactly.
Like me, I could not be a moderator ever. Ever. I could not be a moderator. I'm way too opinionated. I would not be able to fucking do it.
But then, even as moderators are still allowed their opinion.
They're still allowed their opinion. They just can't voice it during the debate.
Yeah, exactly. Which is not good.
But me, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'd be like, no. Like if someone sat there and brought up the wage gap myth. I'd be like, oh, no, hell no. Your time's up. I'm taking away the rest of your time. We're going to go ahead and talk to a real adult. And I talk to the other person. Like, I could not be a fucking moderator. I could not be a moderator. But the thing is like, even during the presidential debates that we had this time around, I don't know if you ended up watching those or not. I mean, I can't blame you if you didn't, because the presidential debates were nothing but a giant shit show.
I'm probably sure they're no different to the political debates what we get over here.
You don't get political debates over there.
Eh?
Let's just be honest. You don't get political debates over there.
Oh, we do between the politicians, just not between the people and the politicians.
But the thing is they got busted sitting there and leaking out questions to one side so that they could be better prepared to answer them. Then also at the same time, the moderator at one point actually jumped in and started ragging on Trump. Like in the middle of the debate.
Yeah, that's not really...
Like actively started taking sides. And it's all like, no.
That defeats the point, yeah. Defeats the object of being a moderator.
Yeah, so, and the funny thing is Trump still won, even with all that fucking shit. I'm all like, damn. But it's because he knew where and how to hit.
Yeah.
Like, he was all like, all right, you know what? California is a waste of fucking time. California always goes Democrat. Not even going to try. But Florida, I might be able to get. And so he campaigned heavily in Florida. And then he campaigned heavily in the Rust Belt, which really paid off for him. But then he also sat there and went to the quote-unquote lesser states and was actively going around and speaking to their interests. Whereas Hillary was... I think it's funny that Hillary, when she sat there and was, going off on, Trump's build a wall thing.
Yeah.
She herself was relying on a political wall that the Democrats have had for a long time. Because the West Coast is actually considered the Democrats' firewall. Because pretty much every state on the West Coast goes Democrat.
Right. Okay.
So she was relying on a wall to beat Trump, and while ragging on him about wanting to rely on a wall.
Yeah. Oh, the irony.
I mean, like, I was just all like, oh, this is palatable right here. This is palpable. The taste of the irony is so sweet at this point.
Yeah, no, fucking...
Although I thought it was funny that California actually fluctuated a little bit. It didn't instantly go blue.
Okay.
I was like, holy shit. Like, when I saw that fluctuation, I'm all like, we know it's going to go blue, but the fact that it was even red at any point, was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, something's changed.
Well, and now you've got, because the thing is a lot of people in Northern California have had that nihilistic attitude where it's all like, oh, well, what's the point? What's the point? But I mean, we had record turnouts up here. We had record turnouts of people. And the thing is these areas are actually very conservative in nature. Like we do have some liberals every once in a while, but the thing is for the most part, we're a conservative area or a neutral at worst.
Yeah, which it's one of those, isn't it? If you're in between.
But Southern California has been fucking over Northern California for years, and so Northern California is getting sick and tired of it. And so, well, that's the reason why the sounds of the state of Jefferson are starting to rise again. Yeah, Northern California wants to split off from Southern California and actually make its own state.
Fucking hell.
That's how divided all this shit's made people.
Fuck, man. Shit.
Like, I would love to fucking see that. I would absolutely love to fucking see that, because then all of a sudden the Democrats would have a real hard time ever getting back into power.
Yeah, well, exactly that. Yeah, being split
because then all of a sudden a 55 electoral college state all of a sudden just got cut in half. And they wouldn't have a solid wall anymore.
No, I don't fucking.
So that's just interesting to me. I would love to see that just as a social experiment anyway. You know, just for the fun of it.
Fuck. Like you said, it'd be interesting to see what would happen. So, well,
but then we got to go through. We got to change all the flags. We got to, you know, got to change all the, you know, geography maps. It's a hassle.
Oh, fuck, man.
But
on that note, dude, I'm gonna have to cut it short because it's nearly 2 o'clock and I've got work in the morning, fella.
Oh shit. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that fucking pesky time gap.
Yeah, it's a bit of an arse.
But just out of curiosity,
yeah.
like I heard that y'all had some real political turmoil going on. I haven't heard anything really specific, but I heard that there was a big kerfluffle that happened recently.
What you mean, Comrade Corbyn at Glastonbury? That one?
I guess. Like what's up with that? I mean, you can go ahead and just give the Cliff's Notes.
Yeah, well, basically, our Labour leader, Comrade Corbyn, because he's a bit of a communist. I don't think he even knows his communist views, but he's pretty much communist. He went to Glastonbury Festival, which is on every year.
Oh yeah, I heard something about the irony of them using a wall to keep out people that they didn't want in there.
Yeah, exactly that.
And them saying that that message was written on the wall for Trump to see that, you know, saying build bridges, not walls, while it was written on a fucking wall.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much. I mean, he gave some fucking long speech, and I heard some of it, and it's just I couldn't listen to all of it. It's just like, you know, when you got an idiot fucking talking and you can't fucking deal with it because you know what he's saying is retarded and shit. That's fucking Corbyn through and through. That's him.
Yeah.
And
I've never been able to listen to Corbyn talk for too incredibly long. Like honestly, I'm surprised people are able to listen to me talk for so long.
I mean, Corbyn is just, I don't know how he gets fucking any support from anyone because he's just so full of shit. I don't know how people can't see through it. I honestly don't know how they can do that.
Oh, maybe y'all got a lot of copophiliacs over there.
Oh, there's something. I think we need a fucking mass CAT scan over here. Do you know what I mean? Find out what's going on in people's heads because fucking something ain't fucking right. If they can't see through it, I mean, it's fucking clear to see that he's nothing more than a fucking communist, and if he gets in power, he's going to drag this country to the fucking depths, man.
You know what y'all need?
Fucking destroy.
You all need the prime minister from fucking Poland to come over and straighten out your shit.
No fucking shit, you know it.
Oh, dude, no, like, oh my god, I'm all like, dude, there's actually a place that if I could get the money to go ahead and move there and somehow get them to accept me in, because they're not taking any immigrants right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But if I could move there and actually be fucking happy. Holy shit.
Well, the thing is that they will take immigrants.
They just won't take Syrian refugees.
They're just not taking any shit. Simple as that. You know.
Well, like I said, if I could get in, because the thing is you're saying that they're not taking any shit, and well, shit, that kind of leaves me out in the cold, doesn't it?
Well, you can always apply and see where it gets you, if that's what you want to do, you know. But no, I mean, you know what? Fucking fair play to them. You know, it's good to see. I mean, this was bound to happen, especially after the whole Brexit thing going on.
Right. Like, you know, even with as poorly as Brexit has been handled, other countries are going, wow, it's actually possible.
We want out. Yeah, fuck this shit.
You know, and now you're starting to see it spread, and that's what the EU was afraid of.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what they were mortified of, because they knew it was going to fucking happen. And I've heard some whispers that Italy might be
They're on the
might be
cards.
having their own Brexit, basically.
And the thing is, there's what's the other one? I think the German people want it, but I think they're not.
Merkel is not even giving them a fucking choice because she's authoritarian dictator.
Yeah, pretty much.
She actually is the reincarnation of Hitler, in my opinion.
The female version.
Yeah. Well, remember, you know, you come back being punished when you were a bad person in a previous life. I could not think of a worse punishment than going from being a fugly man that was disliked by quite a few people to coming back and being basically Palpatine as a female, therefore having less than zero worth in the eyes of society.
Yeah.
And also still having to have the same mentality as you did in the previous life, so you can't even better your situation that way. I couldn't think of a worse punishment.
No, yeah, it's pretty. I suppose that's a pretty good analogy of it. I suppose, to be fair.
But I mean, she's seriously acting like Hitler. At this point, she's all like, "Look, if you disagree with us, you get arrested."
Yeah, that's pretty much where it's at.
If you disagree with us, you get arrested, and we're going to go ahead and give preferential treatment to this group.
Yeah.
That really has no place. That uses violence and intimidation tactics.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, honestly, compare how Merkel acts to how Hitler actually acted. Compare what she says to what Hitler said. You'll get a small chill up your spine, and you'll feel a cold metallic sensation. That cold metallic sensation is the gun being pressed against your head.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it's absolutely fucking horrible. Like, I actually feel bad for Germany at this point. I really do.
But I mean, this is why there is, you know, I think Europe, I think the politicians are going to be in for a fucking nasty shock, because if this doesn't turn to civil war, I'll be very fucking surprised. And I'm not even talking about the UK. I'm talking about places like Germany and France, where the people have genuinely had enough of this bullshit.
Yeah.
The no-go zones and all that. It's just like, people are just like, no, fuck this.
Well, and not to mention, they're sitting there and they're doing voting in such a way to where it's dangerous to vote if you're not voting for the current status quo.
Yeah. Well, exactly that. Which takes you back to what you're saying, which is a fucking dictatorship.
Yeah. And so at this, because I think that it's funny that the vast majority of the arrests that have been made in Germany recently are for the most petty of shit, but it just so happens that it's people who voted against Merkel.
Yeah.
And they're looking for any and all excuses, and they're throwing the book at these people over nothing. Like sitting there and making a post saying, yeah, you know what, Germany was a little bit better of a place before the Syrian refugees got here.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, exactly. Oh yeah, no, you get 5 years in a German prison.
Well, there was a guy that got sentenced over here for that as well.
Yeah. And there was one guy over in Sweden that got nailed for just thumbs upping the shit on Facebook.
Yeah, I remember that one as well. Yeah, that was a couple of weeks ago, I think.
He got hit with like a 10,000 euro fine, and then also several years in prison or something like that.
Yeah, fuck that noise.
It's all like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Again, you're not following their narrative, you'll be punished and castigated. Simple.
And then here in the US, you know, the police are literally standing there and watching as groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter are rioting, destroying public property, not doing jack shit fuck all against them. Although there are some police agencies that are saying fuck that and going against the mayors and are actually out there doing their fucking jobs. But there's areas like, you know, in heavy liberal areas, the police are just standing there and acting as attack dogs for these violent groups. And anytime someone fights back against them, all of a sudden that person gets arrested. But the person who initiated the attack doesn't get anything done to them.
Doesn't get anything, yeah. No, that's it. But I mean, the thing is, it will get to the point, if it continues, like I say, if it doesn't go into all-out civil war, it will get to the point where even the cops are going to be like, no, fuck this shit. Yeah, you're going to get some that, you know, they know right from wrong and they're fucking supporting the wrong side because that's how they are.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to get a lot of them that are, you know, what I would call the good cops. Yeah, and few and far between, I reckon. But, you know, they will be like, you know what, fuck it, no. I signed up to do a fucking job and I want to do it. And that's, you know, that's if they don't fucking drop out of the police altogether.
Which we've actually had several entire police forces actually quit on the spot over here.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
literally leaving no police in the local area.
Fucking hell.
It's all like, oh shit. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be fucking horrible.
Shit can get ugly real quick.
It's all like, oh god. But the thing is, you know, and then I think it's funny, you know, you've got all these liberal retards that are sitting there saying, oh, we need to take away guns, we need to take away guns, and then they sit there and cheer on Antifa for walking down the street with AKs and shit.
Yeah.
And it's all like, I want to ask a question. If it was conservatives walking down the street holding AKs, do you really think that the police wouldn't instantly be there fucking shooting their asses?
No, exactly that.
And so, yeah, it's just gotten to the point now where it's all like, it's starting to come to push and shove.
Yeah, man.
And so, yeah.
Anyway, man, on that note, I'm going to let you go because it's 2 o'clock now. So, anyway.
Have yourself a good one, man. Get some good sleep.
Too, man.
Hope you have a good day at work tomorrow.
Cool. All right, the rest of you guys, all take it easy and enjoy the rest of the chat with Ryu, and I shall catch up with you all soon. Peace out.
Yep. And everyone go over and watch Dill Gaff shit. He's actually got some pretty good shit. He's a little more level-headed than I am. So you can go ahead, come to me for the rage videos, and then you can come to him for the calm, thought-out shit.
And I didn't pay him to say that either.
Hey man, I figure it this way. I don't show your channel anywhere near enough for as often as we do collab shit. So
no, fair man. Cool. All right, man. Well, you take it easy. Thanks again for that, and I shall catch up soon. Yeah.
Yep. Have a good one, man.
All right. Peace out, bro.
Peace.
All right.
Yeah, I don't even know if Sid's still in the chat or anything, but yeah. But anywho, yeah, another thing that I want to go ahead and I want to talk about that me and Dilgaf kind of touched on, I guess, would be just how narcissism actually functions in today's society, and like where you really see the signs of it. The biggest issue that I see as far as narcissism affecting our society in a massively negative way is actually where people sit there and think that it's perfectly acceptable to put someone down based off of what they are instead of what they say or what they do or anything along those lines, and where they will actively make excuses for poor behavior of these people because they fall into that demographic, while simultaneously overly condemning those actions if the person doesn't fall into one of these protected groups. That is a massive failing for us as a society. And I don't care if you live in the UK, if you live in Canada, if you live in the US, if you live in Australia, I don't care. This is a problem that is fairly fucking universal. And it's something that needs to be addressed. And it needs to be addressed soon because it is causing massive fucking divides, massive fucking rifts that don't need to be there. And I mean, you've got these massive divides and rifts with, you know, between men and women, whites and blacks, whites and Orientals, even among the minority groups, they're subdividing themselves and isolating themselves. And that's such a massive issue. The thing is me and Dilgaff kind of covered, you know, yeah, the world is a fucked up place and it really doesn't care about your feelings. But it goes a little farther than that. The world itself doesn't really care too much about what happens to you. I mean, you're just one cog in the machine, right? And you are, in the most basic of terms, expendable. So that's not the best place to sit there and start separating yourself. Because at that point, you're not going to have anyone to back you up whenever the shit does truly hit the fan. And it's absolutely, it absolutely amazes me that people want to separate themselves in this way. It's scary to me because the thing is at that point, you've got a lot of massive issues that are going to go unresolved. If you want to sit there and say, all right, well, you know, there's, you know, this double standard between this group and that group, fine. Go ahead and point out the double standard. But don't sit there and then say, oh, because this one double standard exists, that means every interaction between these groups is a double standard. That's not the way of going about it. All right? That's not how you solve anything. At that point, that's just you trying to go ahead and say, well, this group's more important than this group, period, end of story. Never say that. Never say that one group is more important than another. We're all equally important. All right? We all deserve at least that basic level of respect. But also at the same time, it's all like, don't be afraid of talking about the differences. You should never be afraid of talking about differences between people. The differences between people is what makes the world worth even living in the first place. If everyone was exactly the same, thought exactly the same fucking way, yeah, we wouldn't really have any wars, but also at the same time, we wouldn't have art. We wouldn't have music. We wouldn't have actual true diversity. You know, we wouldn't have different ideas. We wouldn't have made anywhere near the scientific progress that we've made, the social progress that we've made. We wouldn't have any of that. We would just have a bunch of people doing the same thing day in and day out. And I could not think of a worse dystopia. But whenever you do have those issues of, two groups of people not being able to get along, at that point, you have to kind of draw the line. You have to sit there and go, look, you groups can go ahead and disagree on whatever you want to disagree on. That's fine. But once one group starts attacking another, or once you start seeing that dehumanization happen, like with what happened with Sargon and Anita, where she literally just sat there and called him human garbage. That's when you have to draw the line and say, no, that is not acceptable. That is not okay. That is not something worthy of praise. It is something worthy of scorn. And the reason why I say this is because that leads to great atrocities. The vast majority of the atrocities that have happened throughout human history have started with the dehumanization of people based off of religious belief. In some cases, skin color. In some cases, whatever. Hell, all the way down to even something as arbitrary as social class. This is not something... All right, Sin. Let me know when you're ready to join. But this is not something that you can just decide that you can just ignore. Because if you ignore it, you know, I mean, I've seen a lot of people, you know, putting out the meme, which is based off of a quote that said, you know, first they came for this, I said nothing. That next they came for this, I said nothing. Then they came for me, and no one was there to speak out for me. You know, sad to say, but that is a very, very, very sobering thought. Because the thing is if you don't sit there and speak out, even for people that you disagree with, then no one will speak out for you when it comes time for you to go through that. And that's an issue that I have with groups like Black Lives Matter, with feminism. Them speaking out in and of itself is not a problem. I don't have a problem with that. But they're actively lying. They're actively trying to tear other groups down. They're actively trying to segregate people. That is the worst way of going about solving an issue. Because when you segregate people out, when you go ahead and you tell people that it is okay to hate someone based off of what they are, not even based off of their beliefs particularly, but just based off of what they were born as, or even based off of their beliefs, that's never a good idea. Like when I sit there and I talk about feminism, I always make sure to mention, you know, I know a few feminists that are actually legitimately coming from a somewhat noble place. But there's a lot of women out there that are part of feminism, and there's a lot of guys out there that are part of feminism that are actively working against the best interests of men, trying to forward the best interest of women. They're sitting there and saying that men are of lesser importance outright. Like they'll sit there and say, oh, well, yeah, but, you know, men, you know, have higher suicide rates than women, but that doesn't really matter because, you know, women suffer more. Well, I highly doubt that, because at that point you would have women committing suicide at higher rates. So as far as logic goes, it doesn't pan out. And then when you actually take a look at society, the way that society is, the way that society functions, the way that it's been set up, you don't see any of this. You don't see any of it pan out. What you see is men getting the shaft. Men getting told to man up whenever, you know, they're supposed to do something that they don't want to do. But when a woman has to do something that she doesn't want to do, it's somehow magically turned into oppression. It's one of those situations where, like, speaking out against something is fine, but once you combine that with hypocrisy, it's not okay. It's just like with cooking, you know. You can go ahead and have two things that taste absolutely amazing on their own. Yet when you combine them, you get the nastiest taste that you could ever fucking imagine. Well, whenever you have a social movement, you know, it can be coming from a good place, but once you throw in hypocrisy and a self-serving nature, mix in a little bit of fucking narcissism, you get a very, very, very bitter mix. And when you shove that bitterness down people's throat, well, the saying is, you are what you eat. So if you constantly have bitterness shoved down your throat, eventually you are going to become bitter. Now, I'm one of those people. I don't agree with other MGTOWs when they sit there and say all women are the devil. or basically the equivalent of it. I don't agree with other MGTOWs on that. But what I do agree with other MGTOWs on is that women have the potential to absolutely screw a man over at the drop of a hat based on nothing but her word. I do agree with them on that. The reason why I agree with them on that is it's very provable. All you have to do is look at the statistics. All you have to do is look at how a lot of these court cases turn out. It is absolutely a terrifying thing when you actually look at this information. It's horrible. And the thing is if you were to reverse these statistics, you would have an outcry of epic proportions. But when it happens to men, people just sit there and shrug and go, well, that's just how it is. But if it happens to a woman, then all of a sudden you instantly need change. You instantly have to address this issue. You instantly have to call out every instance of it. And that is a problem. Because when it happens to a man, people just shrug and say, oh, there's nothing that can be done. A problem should not have to adversely affect women to be considered important. Just being 100% honest. Any issue is worth looking into. And the thing is once you start making excuses, you're now going down the path of bigotry. And I hate using the term bigotry. I really do, because it is so fucking overused. But the biggest part of actual legitimate bigotry is making excuses for one group to be able to mistreat another. And so the men that are out there that are saying that, you know, women are worthless, women are lesser, and so on and so forth. Yes, that is a form of bigotry. Just like a feminist sitting there and saying that men's issues just don't fucking matter. Or that they are less important than the issues that women face. That is a form of bigotry. And it is absolutely vile. It is disgusting. I never say that women's problems are less important, unless you're talking about, like, if someone's sitting there and saying, yeah, men have a higher suicide rate. And I keep going back to that because that is one of the prevailing issues with men. Let's just be honest. But when they sit there and they go, we need to figure out why men are committing suicide, and then you get people coming forward and the biggest thing that they're bitching about is, oh, a man sat there and called me attractive on the street and I didn't like it. That is an issue. Because these things are not the same. But they want you to concentrate on one issue at a time. That doesn't need to happen. You can solve multiple issues at a time. And the thing is I hear a lot of anti-feminists go ahead and say, you know, well, feminists, you know, want us to sit there and solve every problem in the world that women face before we even assess the problems that men go through. When I first heard that, I thought, no, that isn't right. But then as I sat there and I started talking about men's issues and how they actually kind of coincide with some of the female issues, all of a sudden I started getting a lot of fucking hate. That was a few years ago. And that was when I first started realizing that anti-feminists really did have a point when they said that a lot of feminists out there really do want to ignore male issues until they have gotten everything that they want for women. But here's the problem. There are a lot of feminists out there, at least as far as, you know, the very vocal ones, that are actively condoning violence against men and extra protection for women. That are actively saying that men matter less than women. That are actively trying to say that men have less intrinsic value. And when I ended up hearing all of that, I ended up finding Girl Writes What? Or Karen Strawn. And that was when I got introduced to MGTOW. Was actually through her channel. And so I started doing my research into MGTOW, seeing what this group was about. And the more research I did the more I listened to MGTOW's talk, the more arguments I saw them winning. Because the thing is an argument isn't won by how many people are cheering for you at the end. An argument is won with how many people you have convinced, how well you have proven that your argument can stand up to scrutiny. And MGTOWs win a lot of arguments. And they win even more debates. And I've covered the difference between an argument and a debate before. But the fact of the matter is I ended up seeing all that, and it made the most sense to me. And it lined up with my own experiences. Things that I had observed in the world. So it lined up with not only statistical evidence, but also in the most rarest turn of events. It lined up with anecdotal evidence at the same time. That is truly rare. Those are the types of assertions and arguments that basically end up being viewed as scientific law later on down the line. Yeah, there might be a few tweaks to it before it reaches that point. But a lot of MGTOW is actually based out of psychology. A lot of, the MGTOW belief is based off of biology, provable metrics. And that's one of the reasons why I am a MGTOW. It's one of the reasons why I talk about the things that I talk about. It's one of the reasons why I think the way I think. Because even before I came across MGTOW, I was noticing these things. At first, I thought it was just me. At first, I thought, oh, maybe I'm just being overly sensitive about this. But then as I heard of more and more men going through this, as I heard of it happening over and over and over again, I started to actually take a look at the world around me. And I started objectively looking at it, not just subjectively. It's easy to look at the world subjectively from only your narrow perspective. That is exceedingly easy. And most people are just content with that. Unfortunately, that means that you miss everything else that's going on in the world. And the thing is yeah, there's a lot of ugliness that goes on in the world, but there's also a lot of beauty that goes on. So you're missing out on a lot of life experiences that allow you to grow as an individual. Don't narrow your vision. Like, whenever I sit there and I see people, go into their red pill rage and get that tunnel vision, I try to sit there and get them to widen their field of view. Because, yeah, it's very easy to focus on the negative. I myself tend to focus on the negative. I tend to fight negativity with negativity, and that is probably not the most effective way of going about things. Like, let's be honest. I mean, it's definitely not the most painless way of going through. But you also can't just fight negativity with positivity. Unfortunately, that just doesn't work out. I mean, especially not in the world that we live in. I mean, there's a lot of negativity to go around in this world. Let's all be honest with each other here. But when you decide to finally make your decision and choose your path, make sure that you're choosing the path that's right for you. Hey, Trance, trolling back on here again, huh? But choose the path that's right for you. Don't sit there and choose the path that's chosen for you by someone else. Make sure that you are comfortable enough in yourself and with yourself to go ahead and actually decide to be self-sufficient. And when I say self-sufficient, I'm talking not so much necessarily on the financial aspect. I mean, obviously be self-sufficient as far as the financial aspect. You don't want to go ahead and be reliant on someone else financially. But also, as far as validation is concerned, you need to be able to self-validate. You should never rely on someone else for validation. Validate yourself. Make sure that you take into account that you have your value. Make sure that you can see your own value. Because if you can't do that, then you're not going to be able to move forward in your life. You're not really going to be able to accomplish anything. I mean, even if it's a small accomplishment. I mean, like, take my channel for instance. My channel is not a booming channel. I mean, I have 200 subscribers, but the thing is I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I have 200 people that come here and watch my videos, that, you know, come and will watch live streams for me. I'm proud of that. Because the thing is I managed to do all of that by being myself. I'm not relying on the validation. Even if I only had 1 subscriber, even if I had no subscribers, I would still feel just as accomplished. The reason why is because I'm not afraid to speak my mind. I'm not afraid to put my opinions out there. But also at the same time, don't be afraid to lean on someone when you need the help. If that person is there for you, if they're wanting to be a good friend, and they want to, you know, help you back up on your feet when you get knocked on your ass, which you will. Life's a bitch. But don't be afraid to take some help from someone when you need the help. Be honest with yourself. I honestly think that's one of the reasons why so many men commit suicide, is because they are told that it is an absolute sign of weakness for them to seek help. And then when they try to seek help, even knowing that they're going to get a little bit of shit for it, then you go ahead and you get people like militant feminists coming after them, encouraging them to kill themselves. telling them that they're weak and that their weakness is taking resources from someone who, quote unquote, really needs the help. And you also get some conservatives that'll sit there and see that as a sign of fucking weakness and just make the problem worse. It comes from all sides. And that's one of the reasons why I say, when you're a MGTOW, one of the big things that you need to learn about is how to choose your friends wisely. Like me, I don't have a massive group of friends, but that is by design. The friends that I have, I know I can rely on. I won't call someone a friend if I don't think that they are reliable. But also at the same time, once I call someone a friend, I know that I have to be reliable to them as well. That when they need help, I am there to help them. Whether it being, a listening ear, whether it being a sounding board. Maybe they'll want my opinion on something. They might need financial help, and if I can help them financially, I will. Maybe it's something as simple as, moving some furniture. But the thing is if you're a person that's reliable, you will tend to attract other reliable people. But you'll also attract people that want to take advantage of you. You have to keep an eye out for that. It just kind of comes with the territory. But the big thing, the best way to succeed is to be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself about what you like to do. Don't sit there and say, oh, well, I like to do this, but it's not, society doesn't really accept it. So, I'm going to quote unquote stay in the closet as far as that goes. Like, a lot of people give me a lot of shit for liking anime. Whatever. It's something I enjoy. I'm not saying that other people have to enjoy anime. I'm saying that I enjoy it. It's something for me. I love to play video games. There's more than a few people that will give me a hard time as soon as they hear that I'm a gamer. There's a lot of people that will look down on me for being a gamer. Whatever. I'm not negatively affecting you with my hobby. In fact, my hobby is keeping me out of the way, so I don't know what you're bitching about. But the people who go after people for liking something, I mean, as long as it's not something morally reprehensible, like, I understand people, going after people who like kiddie porn. I understand going after those people because that at some point is harming someone. That at some point is harming a child. So, yeah, I can understand going after someone like that. But someone who likes to play video games? Who the fuck is that harming? It's not harming anyone. And then you get these people who don't want to take responsibility for their own actions, can't admit that they were at fault for something. And so then they sit there and they try to blame something like anime or video games for their poor decisions. Not caring that it's going to ruin this for other people, that it's going to paint other people in a bad light. No, they just want to try to get out of trouble. The key to combat that? Just sit there and go, how often does this happen? It doesn't. This person was fucked up in the head to begin with. Why are you sitting there and trying to say that I am a bad person because someone who happened to like the same thing that I liked did something bad. I mean, figure it this way. A lot of people like Taco Bell, right? So if someone who likes Taco Bell, who likes eating there, goes out, robs a bank, shoots a bunch of people, does that mean everyone who likes Taco Bell is going to go out, rob a bank, and shoot people? No, it doesn't. If someone sat there and watched Game of Thrones and then went out there and cut off someone's hand or cut off someone's head, does that mean that everyone who watches Game of Thrones is going to go out and cut off someone's hand or someone's head? No. So that's just where I come from on this. It's if my hobby is not something that interests you, then go off and find something that interests you. Don't sit there and try to say that I am not allowed to enjoy my hobby because you don't enjoy it. But that also comes from a very specific place as far as what makes me me. Because I am one of those people that does not need other people's validation. I mean, it always feels good to have validation from other people. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we're human. It's part of our nature. You know, you like knowing someone agrees with you. It makes you feel good, but it's not necessarily required. What is required is you being honest with yourself. What is required is you having respect for yourself. And what is absolutely required is having the strength to walk away from those that want to tear you down. And that can be one of the most difficult things to do in life. So, enjoy your hobbies. Be passionate about them. Master them. Doesn't matter if anyone agrees with you or disagrees with you on it. As long as you're not hurting anyone else, no one has any room to complain. And if they sit there and try to make those tenuous links, sit there and go, this is not connected to me in any way, shape, or form other than I happen to have a similar hobby. So fuck off. I mean, hell, a majority of people in Western society drive cars. Does that mean that every person's going to go ahead and road rage? No. Although, with as bad as some people drive, I can understand a lot of people road raging, but that's beside the point. But don't sit there and try to tell someone that their hobby is invalid just because you don't like it. And if someone tells you that your hobby is invalid because they don't like it, tell them to fuck off. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to enjoy what you enjoy. Don't be afraid to pursue what you are passionate about. But that's my view on it. There are a lot of people out there that, for some odd reason, feel that they have to be validated by as many other people out there as possible. And that's the only way that they can prove to themselves that they are worth something. But those also tend to be the very same people that try to tear other people down. And to me, that actually makes me sad. It truly does make me sad. Because seeing someone feeling like they have to rip someone else down to make themselves feel better about themselves, to me, it's pathetic. Feeling like you have to absolutely destroy someone just because you disagree with them? Well, what does that really say about your argument? It means it can't stand up to scrutiny. That means it shouldn't be taken seriously to begin with. But it is what it is. There's going to be people out there like that. Best way to beat them is ignore them. Now, I wanted to talk about the whole Anita and Sargon thing today because there's a lot of hypocrisy there, and there is a lot of potential for a lot of damage to be done. But at the same time, the more attention she gets for it, the more damage that will be done. So it's kind of a catch-22. Because the only way to stop this sort of stuff is to take note of it. But also at the same time, the more note of it you take, the more damage it causes. So, yeah, it's not exactly the best of scenarios. And right now, everyone's talking about it. And I can't blame people for talking about it because it was a really stupid thing. And people like to point and laugh at stupidity. Yeah. And I can't blame people for it. I mean, hell, if I blamed people for it, then I myself would be a hypocrite. Because I love to point and laugh at stupidity. One of the reasons why I made my channel. Because, yeah, my channel was meant to be about video gaming, but it was meant to be more critical of the stupid practices in video gaming. And also, at the same time, meant to point out the positives that happen. All right, I'll send you an invite, Sin. But yeah, to everyone who ever feels like the entire world doesn't care about them, at this point, who cares? I mean, look at what happens when the world actually gives a shit about you. It's for one of two reasons. One, it's either because you're a fucking shithead, or two, it's because it wants to fucking destroy you because you keep pointing out the ugly truth. So either you're going to get attention because of a negative thing, or you're going to get attention for a more negative thing. You know, it's not exactly a good thing for the world to notice you at this point. But if you want to be a martyr for whatever cause you have, more power to you. Just don't hurt anybody, you know? You want to go ahead, you want to deal with the bullshit of the world, go for it. But when I talk about people saying that certain people shouldn't talk, that's the most annoying thing that I've ever heard. And the reason why is because when you sit there and say that someone shouldn't talk, you are saying that you should have more right to expression than them. Because you yourself are talking and saying that this other person should not be able to do what you are doing. How's it going, Sin?
All right. I was waiting for you to finish. I usually just come in and say whatever the shit I want, but you know.
Yeah. But I was on my high horse. I get it.
Oh, no, it wasn't even that. I felt like this needed to be heard.
But,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, what's your opinion on it?
As far as Anita, she can fuck right off.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people, even some of the people from the left, you know, have sat there and called her out and went, "Nah, that was really fucked up, Anita." You know?
That was a hypocritical thing. Like, that was so hypocritical, she might as well pop her hip out of place and put it on her head.
Yeah, right? I mean, I'm like, oh my Jesus Christ. But, you know, I mean, even when the people who have been in your corner and defending the shittiest behavior that you've ever fucking done are sitting there going, yeah, no, we can't support you anymore on this. Sorry, you done fucked up. And then she doubled down. I don't know if you saw her public statement.
Oh yeah, I was watching videos of other people covering it. I didn't go specifically to her channel, though. I can't stand the thought of even supporting her channel by checking her shit out.
Ad block.
But she still get a view from me.
Oh, then what you do is you go to another site that basically pirate downloaded it and fucking go that route.
I'm probably gonna try and do that because that's the only way you could get me to watch Anita at all at this point.
Yeah.
Like I am all for fact checking and shit, but this lady, this amoeba, has started to piss me off to the.
I refuse to call her a lady. She doesn't act like a lady in any way, shape, or form anymore.
I might as well just call her a virus because she spreads like one.
Yeah, she definitely her bullshit definitely spreads like herpes.
Like,
and this is about as pleasant as herpes too.
Like, this lady has gone after several of the things I love, such as video games. To start off with, Star Wars. We already know how I feel about the Star Wars bullshit.
Yeah.
And now I'm not even a fan of Sargon. I don't really watch Sargon, but I know when he's making a joke and shit and when he's not. You remember what I said last live stream about Christy Winters going after Sargon?
Yeah.
After critiquing what Anita said to him. Like, last stream, actually, I said the wrong thing. He was apologizing to both Lacey Green and Feminist Frequency, which is Anita, for things his fans may have done that he sees as overly excessive.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even have to do that.
No, he doesn't.
Because he's not responsible for their actions. The only thing he's responsible for is telling them, I don't like this, that this person did. This is, now it's, you have that information and how he feels about it. You are to interpret and do with it as you will. He does not straight up tell you, go fuck this lady's life up.
Yeah. Like, the closest he's ever done was the I wouldn't even rape you thing.
And that's not even him telling, like, that, I hate to say it, but that was the most clever thing I've ever heard him do.
Oh, it was, yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I got a really good chuckle out of that one.
Like, I wouldn't even rape you. How is that a rape accusation? That Christy Winters is calling that a rape attempt.
How is that a rape attempt? Like, really? Seriously?
Like, that's a rape threat, is what I mean. I was trying to think of the word. Sorry, wrong word. Rape threat, because I wouldn't even rape you.
Okay, that's just fucking stupid.
Now tell me, where is the logic in that? This is where I get lost on Christy, because I think she's actually just a troll at this point. I am willing to call Christy Winters the woman who has pretty much rode the shit out of Bering, even though, you know, she didn't do shit to him, and started to ride the shit out of Sargon. And here's the thing. All she says is the same shit, and they don't even do anything.
Mm-hmm.
She accuses them, and they do nothing to her.
Well, because she doesn't even blip on their radar, really. Because, like, not a whole lot of people are taking Christy Winters seriously anymore. Like, let's be honest.
I haven't been able to take her seriously since the whole entire group chat with Bering and her lot.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. But I can only handle so much stupidity in one sitting. So.
Oh, that thing went out of control. The TED Talk, you know which one I'm talking about. The consent talk.
Oh God.
That shit. That going all the way to that shit. Here's the thing. I personally believe that Bering was making a good point. Because his point was, if the guy is skunk drunk and the other one's skunk drunk, they're blackout drunk, both of them, doesn't that technically mean they could both rape each other because they both can't properly consent?
Yeah.
And then they argued the opposite. The whole entire group of them, of the feminist side, argued the opposite because he took her up to his room. We do not even know the state of the guy that took her up to his room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and this is all a scenario just to clear this all up so nobody's like, what are you saying, Bering took some girl up to his room and fucked her? Like, I've had people say that before, like they don't know what's going on. I'm like, no, you obviously don't know the information. You should go look this up.
Right. But no, like seriously, and that's one of the things that I sit there, and it's one of the reasons why I'm all like, you know what, I understand MGTOW monks and them sitting there and going, you know what, just interacting with women is dangerous now.
Oh, that's another thing.
I understand where they fucking come from on it, and I don't really think it's a place of bigotry like most people think.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like it on its face, but the thing is when you actually take a look at it, you know, it's all like, what is actually considered rape nowadays? It's very difficult to define. It's very difficult to define nowadays because the thing is before, when you would classify rape as forcing someone who is not willing to have sex. And very cut and dry, right?
No, they specifically didn't say sex. They said intercourse, and like they were very specific. You cannot put it inside.
But now
that was the original.
But now it's like you hear rape used in so many different fucking ways, and I'm not talking about like video game talk of, oh God, that team raped us. I'm not talking about that. That's just an analogous thing. What I'm talking about is eye rape.
Oh yeah, that's fucking stupid. Like, that used to be just a term describing someone just undressing you with their eyes. That's all that used to mean. That was a slang term.
Yeah, but now they're trying to make it a literal thing.
Exactly, but here's the thing. The only way you can feel raped with the eyes is if you're... Like, it's a stupid thing. You can't even feel raped from that, in my opinion. I have had, believe it or not, as fat as I am, girls that stare at me like that. But that's because they know my reputation.
Yeah. See, like with me, I've never felt that way. It's all like, if someone looks at me, I'm like, whatever. You know what? It's not hurting me. It's not really threatening me in any way, shape, or form. You looking at me is not going to hurt me in any way, shape, or form. Period. End of story.
I've also had girls like grope my ass and pinch it. Am I supposed to feel offended by it? To me, that means I'm attractive.
Well, I had that shit happen when I was in nursing school. You would be fucking surprised at how often that fucking happens.
Oh, but because a person who's interested in your work and your field of work is very sexy.
So it's all like they're all like, oh, scrubs, that means you're at my beck and call. That means you got to do everything. Ha! That kind of comes down to the mentality. But,
basically.
But the thing is like me, I always laughed it off. The reason why is because it's not actually a real threat. Now, if someone was to sit there and try to reach down my pants, they're going to get a little bit more of a what the fuck reaction from me.
Oh, I'm more of those people. It's like, if you're going to try it, try it.
See, but if
it's in a workplace, yeah, I'm going to stop it. But if it's like, goofing off somewhere, I'll be like, because I played this game called Are You Nervous? Have you ever played that?
No, I haven't.
All right, I was on a field trip, and this girl was like, "Okay, I'm gonna play a game. I want you to play a game with me. It's called Are You Nervous?" And I'm like, "Okay." So I sat right next to her, and she started sliding her hand slowly from my knee up to my crotch, asking me every time she stopped her hand, "Are you nervous?"
Wow.
I never once said I was nervous. I said, "Okay, my turn." And then I got to up to her hip, and I'm like, "Are you nervous?" She's like, "Yes." I mean,
Yeah,
to me,
and you see, here's the dangerous part of that, and here's the fucked up part of it, I should say. The thing
yeah,
is if you were to sit there and you were to report that, because I mean, at that point, you know, that's classified as sexual harassment by all legal accounts, right?
yeah, it's sexual harassment going both ways.
Yeah,
Technically,
but the thing is if you were to report it, you'd get told to get over it and that sort of thing. Nothing would be fucking done.
oh,
But
that's
if she
quite
was to
obvious. I
report
already
it,
know
you're
that.
fucking gone.
Oh, I already know that shit. And what's
And
even more funny is that, but I was smart. We were sitting right next to a teacher, a chaperone.
well, that chaperone fails at life. But
No, no. Here's the thing: we were high school students, and it was our last year, senior year. They're like, "What the fuck, whatever."
oh well,
And
fair
he
enough.
and I had previously said, "Okay, she wants to play this game, and I'll stop when she wants to stop. You just watch."
Yeah, well, that's its own that's its own thing. I ain't going there. But yeah,
Hey, I don't care.
it's just one of those things of I get so pissed off when women sit there and wear almost jack shit and nothing for clothing, and then get mad when a guy sits there and just goes, you know?
Hey, look, you've graduated from having one dislike to two. You're
Yeah,
getting
no,
popular, Ryu.
yeah, no. There's a couple of people that I know are gonna come on and just hit dislike and then fucking leave. I've had a couple of people trying to hate on my channel recently.
Oh,
And
who do they be? Because
uh,
I have a channel they can dislike as well. That just means they give me more views.
right, seriously. They figure now that I've hit, you know, 200 subs that an extra dislike is gonna somehow fucking damage me. What the fuck ever.
I sometimes when I see that, I think it's just people having multiple accounts, just going into different accounts and disliking. Because there are people that are that
do
petty.
that, but honestly, I think these are actual legit different users. To
It
be
could
fair.
I mean, it could be, but I'm just saying, like with a small channel, normally that's the case. It's two legitimate channels that are just like shitty,
Yeah.
and then the other one is just like when you start to get into the 1,000 mark, or at least the 500 mark, people will start disliking like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Personally, I think one of those dislikes might be because of me. I always think that though.
Well, the thing is that extra dislike did happen while you were sitting there and talking about the Are You Nervous game. To be fair.
Look, that was her idea. I think it was mostly the fact that I brought up the consensuality thing.
And you see, that's the issue that I have with the whole consent thing. Well, I have multiple issues with the consent thing. For one, it's one-sided. It's completely one-sided how it's viewed. It's definitely based out of the Duluth model. All right? It is there to quote-unquote protect women. It is not there to protect men.
I can understand that view completely because, I mean, you could have a legitimate consensual sex thing happen, and then they would
2 days later say no, it was actually rape.
Yeah, because you forgot to get her flowers or something.
Yeah, and at one point, I don't think I actually posted the video. I think it was one of the videos that I nixed just because it just went way the fuck off the rails. But I've actually always held the opinion of, you know what, if you're going to go ahead and you're going to randomly have sex with someone, record it.
Oh yeah, that's
just straight the fuck up.
Do you remember what I used to say every single time someone asked me about consent
What?
on Twitter?
No, it's been a little too long, I think.
Oh, when somebody would ask me about consent, I'm like, okay, first of all, here's how consent works for the woman. Yes, I consent. Okay, here's how consent works for the guy. Okay, here's a legal document for you to sign, and I'm talking about guy to girl. Girl
Yeah.
is guy's talking to girl. Here's a legal document for you to sign, consenting that we can have sexual relations. This is a video camera because I don't. It's not that I don't trust you; it's that I don't know you. And here is a fingerprint ID and a breathalyzer.
Yeah, pretty much. Except you did get the female consent wrong. Because the guy doesn't even have to say yes for consent. This is all proven. Remember the guy that got fucking kicked out of his school for rape, even though it was openly said that he was passed out drunk and had whiskey dick.
Oh, I understand, but what I was
so consent for a guy is, do you exist?
Right, but you missed my point with the female talking to the guy. That was the female talking to the guy. Just say I consent. She consents.
Yeah, she consents.
And then for the guy, and then for the guy to verify it, he's like, "Here you go. Here's all this shit."
Yeah, but
that's what I was saying. I kind of said it weird. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like you were separating out the two, and I'm like, no. It's just with the guy. It's all like, well, did the guy consent? Does he exist? Yes. Well, then you have your answer. You know, I mean, that's basically the view of it at this point. And it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. But then at the same time, you get, these women that sit there and go out and, have a gangbang and all that sort of thing. And then they sit there and they start, working their way through the guys going, oh, yeah, they gang raped me. And it's all like, no, we didn't. You're the one who went to the fucking glory hole, bitch.
Yeah. Well, you know what's really funny at the moment? I'm getting all these advertiser people coming to my channel and just trying to get me to approve their comment.
Yeah, that I get that all the time on my channel too, and I'm all like, no. And then I know that some of these don't even fucking know what your channel's about. They don't even fucking care. I keep getting these ones where it's all like they're trying to advertise for fucking dating sites.
Yeah.
I'm all like, I am not going to put an advertisement for a fucking dating site up on my fucking channel. This is a MGTOW channel. I think that dating sites are the absolute worst thing to happen to fucking humanity.
Oh, what I'm getting right now is people being like, I love your video. I know this is going to be marked as spam, but could you put the link to my video in your comment section? That's just fucking great.
And you see, the thing is like, I'll go ahead and I'll check links to see if where
it goes.
Yeah. Like there was one that I actually decided to okay on one of my fucking videos just because the song was pretty fucking good. But
oh yeah, I got one of those right now, and I kind of want to listen to the song, but I don't want to play it over the headset. So
yeah, but it's just all like,
because it's about a zombie, and I like zombies.
Yeah, no, that's the one. That's the one.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the same one. It's a good song.
Should I just go ahead and approve it then? I trust your judgment on that one.
You can if you want to. I did on one of my videos, but then they tried to do it on like 4 other videos, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Oh, I'll let it through on
one fucking video, and that's it.
I'm not gonna let them have a ball, but I will let you have like maybe one video. But right now, I only got one video anyway.
But yeah, no. So what did you cover in your live stream anyway?
I jumped all over the fucking place. BLM, that's one of them. BAM, Antifa.
Oh, so you're covering domestic terrorism.
And then, no, it wasn't just one subject. I also went to Anita, and I basically, the title of my video.
Out of the domestic terrorism thing.
Huh? just put her under domestic terrorism. What just broke?
Huh?
I heard something fall.
It was a plastic plate that I had that ended up falling over.
Oh, I was like, damn, I just made him break the world.
Oh God, no.
Shit.
My fat ass causes me to do that, but
my brother's fat ass breaks chairs.
Dude, there was actually one time when me and my ex were together. We were down visiting her brother, and I was sitting in a chair, and I was holding our daughter, and all of a sudden I heard this small cracking sound. I was gonna try to get up, but it was too late. All of a sudden, the chair just collapses out from underneath me. I literally just fell through the chair. My daughter wasn't bouncing on me or anything, right? And when I went down, my hands just went up. She did not change fucking height, and I just went tailbone first straight into the fucking ground.
Ouch.
And everyone was just sitting there just looking, and my daughter just looked down at me like, oh my God, you know, because my daughter was less than 2 years old at that point.
Yeah.
And so she was just looking down. She didn't know what happened. And I just looked at her mom. I'm all like, please take our daughter. And she took her, and I just laid on the ground. I'm all like, yeah, I'm going to lay here for a little bit until the pain goes away.
Yeah. You know what's even worse? My brother was on one of those bar stools, the first one he broke.
Oh, shit.
One of those really high ones, too.
I feel as bad as my cousin does. Because because you know those big fucking trampolines?
Yeah.
That they'll have at like civic centers and that sort of thing. Well, he was jumping on one of those trampolines, and he went straight through it.
Ouch. Hopefully he wasn't doing a butt bomb when he did.
No. He was jumping up and down, like, you know, with his feet. And the thing is he hit feet first, and he rolled out from underneath, and he just started walking.
I'm
okay. And I'm like, dude, where are you going? He's all like, I'm going to go kill myself. I'm like, oh, shit.
I just destroyed a trampoline by being fat. I'm going to go kill myself. I've killed fun.
He's all like, this was an industrial strength trampoline, and I just literally went right through it. No.
The depression.
Oh, yeah. I felt so bad for him at that point. Oh, my Jesus.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, like, we all have that moment in our life. Everyone has that moment. You know?
I can't remember my that moment at the moment, though.
Well, some of us have multiple that moments.
Well, really, overall, except for, you know, when other people have done shit to me, I can't really think of anything really, really bad that I've done or anything like that that I've either regretted or felt horrible afterwards for.
See, my that moment preceded one of my greatest fucking moments. Because it was when I was playing football, my coaches had kind of sidelined me because I went off on one of my coaches because he was being a fucking dumbass. He fucking sidelined me, and I was pacing back and forth, and they had these planks on there for you to walk on and that sort of thing. Well, one of the planks was a little uneven, and so my foot caught it. I went down and I slammed on the ground on my forearms and on my shins. And I got up, and I was just pissed off. They threw me in the next play, and I ended up busting through the line, and I ended up hitting the quarterback so fucking hard that his helmet came off, and they actually had to take him off in a stretcher.
Ouch. He must have put his head down.
Huh? No, he didn't. That was for me hitting him in the chest.
Ow.
Yeah. But the thing is that quarterback, I felt kind of bad for him because the thing is that quarterback weighed 150 pounds.
Ow.
I weighed 280 pounds.
Ow. Just
of sheer muscle.
We should probably get back on topic because I think your thing is gaming. Your category,
My category is gaming. What the fuck? Oh my god, I gotta change that shit.
That's what it is right now. You're in gaming, and that's what's.
Okay. Yeah, I'll change that later. But anywho, yeah, like, all right, let's go on to gaming. You know, I mean,
because we were talking. I figured
so.
I figured you had it as gaming because of Anita.
Well, no, I just forgot to change my thing from my last upload.
That would explain so much, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Every once in a while, I'll forget to change that shit around. I'm usually pretty on top of it, but lately I have a lot going on. But
I just figured you kept it there because of Anita. So.
Oh no, it kind of fits, but I think politics would have been more fitting for the stream. But
I mean, bullshittery would be a better one, but they don't have that tag.
Right. But yeah. All right, so gaming. All right, let's go ahead and talk about PlayStation.
Okay.
Let's talk
the
about
system
Sony.
I don't have. Got it.
Yeah, let's talk about Sony and its absolute dumb fuck move of not allowing cross compatibility.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Nintendo and Microsoft are now allowing cross-play. Yeah, and PlayStation saying no. And you know what their fucking stupid ass fucking reason that they decided to go with was?
What?
Because they have a contract with the people that buy their console and use their service, and they can't guarantee. They can't guarantee anything, and it's all like, "Are you fucking what?" They're sitting there and basically saying that what it really comes down to is, well, we don't have draconian control over cross-platforming because we don't have control over what the gamers on the other platforms are doing. Therefore, we aren't going to allow for that because we want absolute control and determine who does and doesn't play games.
You see that? You see, that was a thing that I've left PlayStation for, because they weren't saying stuff like that before, but you could just tell by the attitude of the company. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's one of those things you just pick up on like, where, let's say if you're at a dinner party, you can tell who the snob and who the jock is, you know?
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
And then you get fuckwits like me, and then it's all like, all right, what the fuck are you? Like, are you a snob? Are you a jock? Are you an outcast? What the fuck?
I'm a shifter.
I just sit there and I go. I just look at them and I answer yes.
I look at them and I throw on a helmet. Now I'm a jock. Takes off that, puts on glasses. Now I'm a nerd.
Oh my god! Like,
I'm your worst nightmare. Throws on Batman mask. I'm Batman.
Go home, Itachi. You're drunk.
Not yet. Cry of the night.
But no, I'm actually kind of sick and tired of the whole political bullshit. Actually, let's go ahead and let's end this stream and actually have a gaming stream so the title's actually accurate, and so that this one actually somewhat has a thing.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start up another live stream so that way we can actually be on topic. So anyone who's interested in continuing to hear this shit, please come and listen.
In a moment, I gotta go for a sec. I gotta go check on my nephew. He might have woke up.
All right, it's all good.
I'll be right back.
It's going to take me time to set it up anyway. So, all right. See everyone in the next stream.